Okay, hopefully that will fix it. I'm not sure why this keeps knocking itself out like this. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, I don't touch any of these settings. I don't touch anything because it's the same thing every week. But sometimes I go in and it's fine, and sometimes I go in and it has changed itself, like today. I tell you. But anyway, I was saying, welcome to the show. I'm glad you guys are here, and I hope you enjoyed the video that we put up this weekend with the conversation with TS about her experience in an all male work environment, the harassment and the hazing and the threats, underhanded little threats that she received, and the overt, behavior that really put her life at risk. So, what we decided to do since then, a lot of women have come forward saying they've experienced similar things, or, maybe not quite that heavy, but still harassment and things on the job. So, what we're going to do is convene another panel, and we're going to talk about, I need 5 women at least. I needed to be in 5 or 7 to talk about what's going on in the environment for women in the work environment, how you handled it, and what we as a group can do about it. Because it's kind of a thing that, we used to depend on this organization called NOW, National Organization of Women. When I was growing up, they were very powerful. They were always out in the forefront, and I had a good voice. Now they don't do shit but have tea parties. I don't know what the fuck they be doing, but they don't do nothing. So it's, if we as women, younger women or women of color, are going to do anything to change this kind of stuff, because a lot of times the women of color are the ones that are targeted by both black men and Asian men and white men too. So, there's a special kind of voice that needs to be heard. We need to, give the younger women some tools to handle this kind of stuff. So I thought it would be a really good idea to have such a panel, and I'm looking for people who, are willing to talk about it, what they did to resolve it. And if you have any experts in that field that you are aware of, someone, maybe that used to work for the EEOC, a former attorney, civil rights attorney, something like that, and you can point me in the direction of that individual, I would appreciate it. Okay, that's what we want to do. Would like to do that sometime, either towards the end of October or early November. So let us look at the vast amount of letters. Yep, here we go. We got 25 today. Ugh. And this packet is looking a little thick. All right, let's get started, because otherwise we'll be here all day. Hey, lady boss. What's up, everybody? Okay, here we go. Question number 1 for What the Fuck Tuesday relationship advice column. This is a young woman in the 21 to 25 age group out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. I'm almost 7 months pregnant, and my boyfriend has been great up until July. He used to help me with household chores and make me feel comfortable. So in July, I slipped and fell down the stairs and broke my ankle. Ugh. My boyfriend was concerned at first, but then he got mad at me for jeopardizing the pregnancy. What, like you flung yourself down the stairs? I used crutches for 6 weeks. I told him I didn't fall on purpose, which he still thinks I did. He's been telling his family that I'm jeopardizing the baby's health. I then yelled at him and left. I went to my friend's house for a couple of weeks to cool off. I then returned after my phone kept blowing up. Since July, he has not apologized. He's a completely changed person. He now hangs out with 10 of his friends every week, even during COVID. I told him to stop going, but he never listened. A couple of days ago, he told me he wanted to have a natural home birth. I said, no way. There's nothing wrong with a home birth, but that's not for me. He told me it was fair that he got to choose because he wanted to be involved during the birth. Motherfucker, you don't have a vagina. You don't get to be involved. Now, that's not even, I'm not even going to wait for the answer part. He told me that he didn't want me to have an epidural for the birth to make it more, quote, real. I also have a low pain tolerance level. I told him no way was I having a natural birth. This guy. The last thing I told him was no partner acts like that. He told me I never listened to him, and we haven't talked since. Do I just listen to him to make him happy? Or do I do things my way and possibly upset him? At this point, I really don't have the energy to keep arguing with him. What steps should I take? Girlfriend, let me explain something to you. This little motherfucker right here is talking about putting the baby's health at risk while he's ripping and running all over the place with all these different people, drinking and whatnot, and then bringing them cooties into the house where there's going to be a newborn baby. And he doesn't see that he's the one who's putting not only you and himself, but the child at risk as well. He don't see that. People fall all the time. I sprained my ankle last week. Y'all didn't notice, but I was on crutches last week. And then this week I'm walking around with a cane and stuff, limping like a fool because my ankle's all fucked up. That was just, like a fall. I didn't. You certainly know I didn't do that shit on purpose. But he can't see that. He should be offering support and encouragement for you, not telling you that you did it on purpose. And that's when I would have told him, no, because if I had done it on purpose, I wouldn't be having this fucking baby. That's what. So you think that if you want to, but the fact that I'm still pregnant means it wasn't on purpose. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be right now. It would be called a late term miscarriage, fucker. But see, this is another example of why you don't have babies for men that you're not married to. You just don't do that. This is she finding a whole new side of him that and with this boyfriend baby mama thing. That's a no. Don't do that. So he wants to have a home birth. Then tell him to have a home birth. To go and stick something up his ass and just let it poop out of his vagina. As soon as he gets one, he can do that. That's what I would tell him. And then you go to the hospital and you do what you want to do because the only one who's going to be going through that pain and all them contractions and bleeding and going through all the stuff that happens when you have a child is you. So you get to decide what you want to do, how you want to do it, when and where and everything, and who's going to be in the room, all kind of stuff. At the hospital, since y'all aren't married, you can ban him from the room. You do know that, right? And if I were you, that's what I would do. Since he don't want to be there, say, oh no, security. I don't want him anywhere near me while I'm going through labor. Get him out of here. And they will put the armed guards up there and he will be escorted out the building. That's what you can do. So you can have peace of mind. You can have your mama there or sister or best friend or somebody. Or you can do it by yourself. But you don't have to be bothered with him. And let's see, what else did I wanted to say? This guy, he just really is pissing me off. And you don't have the energy to keep arguing with him. There's nothing to argue about. Leave. Go to your mother's house. Do what you need to do. Have your baby. And then if you feel like going back to him after that, you can do that. Personally, I would be done with him. Oh, yeah. You're going to decide everything about what you do with your body. You know, this guy, you're so nice because he would have got so cussed out. Oh, my God. But no, I would have never been in a situation because I wouldn't be having shit for nobody. Barely wanted to have one when I was married. Talking about he want to have 5 kids. I'm like, good luck with that. You know what you get out of one, maybe two, maybe. But you talking about a basketball squad, nigga? Get out of here. That shit ain't happening. I'm just like, they be just tripping. So anyway, let's move on to question number 2. Female, 26 to 29, out to UK. I stumbled upon my boyfriend's throwaway account, which he used to comment on nude photos of other girls. I verified that it's him and cross-checked with him right away. He confirmed. He said he did that because I was busy at work and couldn't give him enough time. I think this is the second time. The first time he admitted it himself. It's just sad, and I don't know what to do. What I am worried of is that this might happen again in the future. Well, okay. Commenting on nude pictures. Why are we tripping about that? I mean, maybe it's me. I don't really get where that's a big deal. Now, what happens? Is he meeting these women? Is he calling them on the phone? Is he doing like, X-rated chats with them or something? I mean, what is it that you're so upset about other than some words on a computer screen? I know some people get, upset, but I just don't see where this is even worth writing an advice letter about. And it's the kind of thing like, if men like, I mean, they have like Playboy and Penthouse and, all these kind of magazines and stuff like that. And then all these, I mean, men look at that kind of stuff. Even before the internet and all these, P sites, they would buy Playboy and Hustler and Penthouse magazines and look at what? nude pictures of women or, scantily clad. I mean, this is what men do. Quiet as it's kept, women like to look at scantily clad pictures of men as well. I mean, this is what happens in the adult world. So I'm kind of sitting here trying to figure out why this is pushing your buttons so much. This in itself, unless there's something you did not say, which is a possibility, but just this part here that you wrote about is not a concern. I don't understand. This is not like abnormal behavior. But what I can say this is if you are bothered by it, because you're the one in the relationship, not me. See, this would be, I'd probably sit there and look at him with him and say, ooh, she could use a trainer. She's what you call fat skinny. She don't have no muscle tone. I'd be going like that. But since this bothers you and it makes you sad and all this kind of stuff, then you have to be the one to decide if this is the right man for you. And it sounds like it's not. You don't want a guy who's going to look at, naked pictures of women online. But good luck finding someone who doesn't. Okay? That's all I'm going to tell you. Question number 3, female, 26 to 29, out of Dallas. I recently met this guy for a date. We went for dinner, which lasted about 3 hours. We then went for a walk afterwards, so now we're in the 4 hours. Eventually, we said goodbye. We shared a nice goodbye kiss. The thing is, we've been chatting back and forth for a while now since the date, and he uses an insane amount of GIFs in the chat. So if I ask him something, he will reply with a GIF. He knows I'm not the biggest fan of them and would rather communicate as opposed to sending GIFs. I should also mention he's 32, so I'm guessing he should be open for communication as opposed to just GIFs. He's a GIF fool. I noticed he also changed his profile name to Looking for Dates, which, to be honest, was a bit of a kick in the stomach. I don't care if he dates others, it's just changing his profile name to just dates kind of pissed me off. Anyway, I've no right to be annoyed by him changing his name, but to me, that's a clear-cut sign he isn't feeling it the same with the constant GIF sending. Am I wrong? No. Just that alone would get on my nerves because it's like, I would probably text it back. The moving pictures, the little emoji things, the little images, where they're moving or somebody's going, they're moving versus the static smiley faces and stuff like that. Those are GIFs. Like the one that's showing Forrest Gump turning and running, when, they usually last, I don't know, 3 seconds or so. They usually about 3 seconds long, but they have movement in them. And I hate those things. I hate them. Now people be trying to post them on my on the black vegans cook message board thing on Facebook. Like instead of saying, oh, that looks really good, they want to post a GIF rather of somebody drooling or sitting at the table looking stupid. I delete all that shit. The other moderator doesn't, but I do because it just disturbs you. You looking down the thing and all this shit jumping and moving. I hate that shit. And it's like, how old are you? You not act like a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old teenager. Stop doing that shit. That's ridiculous that grown people do that. It drives me crazy. So anyway, I would have sent him a gif of somebody going or something like that, so he could get a really good clear idea of what I thought about his GIF sending instead of his word usage. God, he sounds like an idiot. But you getting in your feelings because he changed his screen name. I mean, that's not your man. What are you talking about? You shouldn't give a fuck. He could change his name to Buckethead. That's fine. I mean, they don't have nothing to do with you. Okay, you went on one date with the man. And what you spent 4 hours with some fool for? You supposed to be in and out in 30 minutes on the first date. This don't make no damn sense. And then you could have found out that he was an idiot sending gifs and you wouldn't invested 3.5 extra hours of your life in this fool. I'm telling you. One date. The first date, you get 30 minutes max. That's it. That's all. Yeah, he is an idiot. I'm just saying, whatever he changed his name to, it don't have nothing to do with you, okay? And you all in your feelings talking about there's a kick in the stomach. You just being dramatic. Don't nobody owe you shit just because you went on a date with him and kissed him. You should have kept your lips locked up. You shouldn't have been kissing on some man like that. You ain't getting shit from me on the first date. See, you would have kept your kiss and your 3.5 extra hours to yourself. You would have found out he was a fool, and you would be relieved instead of feeling like you invested so much in it. That's what's the problem here. You feel like you invested stuff and you invested time and feelings in a first date, which you should not have done. That's what I'm telling everybody. Don't do it. He's the first date. This is an exploration. Okay, you don't walk away feeling like this is the start of something. Okay, you just went on one date. It don't mean shit. You know. I'm just saying, yeah. Anyway, question number 4. Female 18 to 21. This is number 4 of 25 questions if you just got here. 25 questions today. Yeah. Yeah, just keep it moving. These like they are them GIF things. Oh, them drive me crazy. I hate them, hate them, hate them, hate them. So, luckily, YouTube, ban. They don't have that. You can't reply with a GIF, and I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. Question number 4. She's 18 to 21, and she's out of Los Angeles. I'm 21, and I have a constant theme in my life that just keeps repeating itself. I get a lot of unwanted attention from men. I'm an attractive girl, and fashion modeling is my job, but I've made it a point to dress conservatively when I'm out, especially when I'm by myself. I bought some great headphones, and I won't give strangers eye contact. But this morning, I reached a breaking point after an unwanted encounter with a guy. He followed me for a few blocks, sped up while I was waiting for the light, grabbed my phone out of my hand, and insisted on giving my number. I expressed no desire to reciprocate, but there was no one else on the street, so I was very scared of him. I wanted to go away and him not to hurt me. 2 days before this, a man who appeared to be in his 60s approached me in Starbucks asking for directions. I didn't ignore him as it seemed probable that he was just a lost old man. So I gave him directions and then felt stupid when I realized he didn't need them. He ended up asking me to dinner, which I rejected, and then said I had to go. He began walking with me, insisted on walking me home. Wow, this was super uncomfortable. I pretended I had to rush off to a job and hopped into a cab. These occurrences aren't isolated incidents. I have unwanted encounters with men all too frequently. I had to get a restraining order against the guy that I met in a coffee shop when I was 17 or 18. I didn't give this person my number, just my first name, and I use a fake name now, but I didn't know better at 17. He found my social media profiles and began stalking me. After a year, it had gotten so bad that I took legal action. A kid, 17 years old. I could go on with more examples, but I'll keep this a reasonable length by saying that I find myself in these situations a lot. Hmm. Okay. It's getting to the point where I get bad anxiety. I watch my back all the time. I'm rude to strangers and I struggle to actually meet people since I'm so closed off. This sucks because I travel all the time for work, and my life would be easier if I didn't have crippling social anxiety due to this. I've made adjustments to my life, considered quitting my job many times, but realize that they won't stop this because I'm still me. I feel so disgusting. I don't know what I did or do to attract this attention. I don't know how to mitigate this either. Okay, one thing is, I'm going to tell you all of this. Phone, put it away. When you walking down the street, you need to be aware and alert of what the fuck is going on around you. All these girls, I keep seeing all the time, walking down the street, you doing all of this here. Playing, you're not looking at what's going on behind you, around you, in front of you. Next, you're not paying attention to that shit. You busy in your damn phone. Whoever's on the phone or whichever you looking at, unless it's directions for where you're trying to go, you can wait. Be aware and alert of what's going on. Even if you have headphones on, don't have any music playing. You need to be able to hear what's being said around you so you know if there's a threat. Is it a shame that women have to do this? Absolutely. It's absolutely a threat because men are fucking perverts and predators. But you accuse, she's obviously a good looking young lady because she models. Okay. So they're going to be on her like flies on shit. That's just, that's what they do. Do not walk around with your phone in your hand. I mean, sometimes, you got the latest iPhone and whatnot. It'll just be snatched and they'll run off with it. I mean, that happens too. But the main thing is you are not aware of your surroundings, okay? Instead of carrying a phone in your hand, you should have a stun gun if it's legal in your municipality, or mace, or pepper spray, or something along those lines. That's what should be in your hand, not a phone. Okay, you can't fight nobody with what you gonna do. I'm gonna beat you until the phone dials 911. I mean, what? What you doing? What is? How's that gonna do anything to protect you? These guys are. This is just really weird. And for in the future, like if you're in an environment like Starbucks and something, somebody try to ask you something like that, you say, "I don't know." Ask one of the clerks. Turn and walk the fuck out. This thing, being nice, women being nice is always to your detriment. You don't never be nice to men. Never. Okay, unless it's a family member or somebody that married to or something, you can be kind of nice to them, but even that has limits. But you don't never give your time and energy and stop what you doing to be nice to some fucking man. Fuck them. Let them figure it out. Every phone in this world has GPS on it and directions. You don't need to ask nobody no fucking direction. Too bad she wasn't thinking, because she wouldn't have she would have thought, well, you got a phone. You know how to, plug in an address. Get the fuck out of my face. Something like that. Rather than trying to be nice and helpful. You don't be nice and you don't be helpful. You know why? Because it lets them get too close to you. Once they get close to you, then they're within arm's reach. They could touch you. Always, always, always keep yourself back from these fools and you in a street, a situation like this. He got up close enough to snatch her phone out of her hand. No. And she was aware of him following her for blocks, and yet she didn't do anything to mitigate that. You have to be aware. You go into a store, you do something, hop into a cab like you did on the other thing. Do something. Somebody following you down a fucking street is a threat. You have to take action. You don't just sit there and stand at the light like nothing is going on. You can't do that. Okay, and it's just it really saddens me that we even have to have this kind of conversation. Why can't women just live their lives and do what they want to do in public and on the streets and in coffee shops and stuff like that? But we have to have all these plans and defensive moves and stuff in place because of fucking weirdos. Yeah, you just need to be aware, be alert, and think. Everybody got a phone. They don't need to ask you what time it is. Everybody got a phone. They need to ask you for directions. They don't need to ask you shit. Okay, so anything like that they come up with, it's just game that you got to stand close to you and touch you. I'm just like, wow, this is bad. Um, and I know you can't probably take it on walks. I mean, to everywhere you go, like jobs and stuff. But you can get yourself a dog. They have them fake uh them little, what do they call them? Them working guard dog things that they have. People have them emotional support dogs, them little rat dogs they be carried around in a purse and stuff like that. But they have these get you a big dog, like a German Shepherd, a Doberman Pinscher, a pit bull, something, something, a Rottweiler, something that's going to be threatening to motherfuckers. They're not going to want to fuck with you because of that dog. My mother used to have a Doberman Pinscher. This thing, my mother's tiny. You all think I'm short. My mother, it was like 5'2". And she had this big old AKC certified Doberman Pinscher. That thing was terrified of her. She was definitely the alpha. And but with this dog, she would take it for long walks, right? And this dog was so threatening to people, to men, that they would see the dog would stop right there on the walk, right? The dog would stop and it would just glare at the men like this. Wouldn't move, nothing moved. It just moved his head like that to watch where they were. If they even tried to come anywhere close to her, he would get into his stance like that, that stance that they do, like they're gonna jump on you. And the men would go outside, walk off the street on the other side of the parked cars to go around that dog because they didn't want none of that. They didn't want none of that. They didn't want none of that. And so, and that dog was, I mean, and he was very threatening, very loving and wonderful little dog. But they're not, well, ours was not aggressive. He was just very protective. I'm telling you, he was scared of my mother. He was scared of her. He was like, she would start yelling, and he would and run away. We thought it was amazing. So, young lady, that's something to consider, but I don't know what your living situation is. because some places don't allow pets, or they only up to a certain weight or something like that. But since this is keeps happening to you and it's scaring you and it's causing you like to have mental and emotional, anxiety about it, you have to figure out a way that's going to help you be able to navigate the world safely. A big guard dog is one example, and personal protection gear in the form of some kind of spray or a stun gun. If in California, yeah, you can get a stun gun. You in Los Angeles, girl, get you one of them nice ones. Now you can't go with a gun. You can't walk up and down the street with a gun everywhere. She's trying to be a model and stuff. Guns are too heavy. She already got a big makeup bag and stuff. She can't be doing all that. But I think a nice stun gun, and carry that in your hand instead of a phone. They get jiggy, tap them with it. 90,000 volts into somebody, they get a whole new understanding of what they should not be doing. Okay, because they be laid out there twitching on the sidewalk. I bet you they won't do that shit again. You know. So this is very unfortunate. This is unfortunately the life that many women lead in absolute terror because men just won't fucking stay in their lane. Question number 5, male, 30 to 36 out the UK. I'm 30, she's 39. We met online during lockdown and chatted every day on phone or Skype. She got very intense, saying lots of things about love, etc., very early, and I backed away. Oh, she was love bombing. For 3 weeks solid, she wouldn't let me go. She kept messaging and messaging, trying to call, etc., and pleaded with me to meet up with her. She didn't give up, and I think that showed how much she liked me. I agreed to meet up with her, and she really took me by surprise. I did grow feelings for her, so we had a history. Oh, previously, but we had a history. But meeting her really changed my viewpoint, and we've known now been dating for 2 months. We had nights away, and she's extremely loving and affectionate. She always wanted to touch me and be near me. She has no problem being affectionate in public, holding hands, kissing. She talks about a future with me, says she's never met anyone like me who looks at her the way I do and treats her the way I do, like I'm the only the only one around. She calls me, quote, her boy, says I'm handsome, etc., etc. She travels to see me, asks to see me, and is honest. I've not had this much attention from a girl before. She worries I will, quote, get bored or get fed up of her. She also has taken a new job in the mall and told me she's worried about us because it was different when we can see each other. I'm totally into this girl. However, I'm almost constantly anxious that she is going off me or I aren't good enough. Okay, I wonder what country he's from in the UK. I'm struggling to read this letter. I want you all to know. I don't tell her this. I also feel like she is being dishonest. She has given me no reason to be. I've this, but a few things have bugged me when we are out together. She also cheated on her last partner and didn't tell me about her ex until recently, which is fine. When we are out, she glances at other guys, and one time we were sitting on a chair. She was cuddling up to me, and a quote, hot guy walked past, and she immediately leaned away from me, stopped holding my hand, and stared at this guy. Wow. I think she could tell I was pretty peed, and I mentioned him, and she said he was hot. Then proceeded to tell me how much she's into me and wants to be with me, etc. She also mentioned a lot about guys talking to her, looking at her, etc. I never showed that I'm jealous. I just go along with it. However, I can't help feeling some doubt. She shows me so much and also messages me all through the day. Even the slightest hint of another woman, she gets jealous, wants to know what I'm doing, where I'm going. If I'm driving in the car, she immediately asks what I'm up to. She has also said she has doubts about me that I want to be with her after I always try and reassure her. Could you shed some light on this, or am I just overthinking? Nah, you with an idiot. You need to get rid of her. First of all, something's wrong with you that you calling an almost 40-year-old woman a girl. Let's start there. Your mind is all kinds of fucked up. That's a grown ass woman. Okay, you don't call him a girl. That's an insult. It is degrading. Girls are people that are like 16 and under. After that, they become young ladies from 16 to about 24 or 5. And then after that, they're a woman. Okay? Unless you're dating children, then she's not a girl. Let's get that straight. Number two, um, this is it's really interesting to see this in writing because when I worked out in Livermore, all my clients, when I was working as a personal trainer, all my clients were white. and all them chicks was married, and all them chicks had like would come to the gym working out in like diamond tennis bracelets. Honey husbands had like bought them horses, and they had vineyards. All kind of shit was going on. These chicks was balling. All right, but in each case, this behavior here is how they got those men, and I don't know. Black women, we don't tend to be like this too much. It's like we don't have time to be doing all that kind of shit because we got other stuff to do. But this thing that's making him feel like he's the king and stuff, and then their phrase that they used to use all the time is to tell the guy that he was awesome. I have never heard a black woman say that about anything. It's not a word that we really use. And I told them that, and they said, "Oh no, try it. When next time you have a boyfriend, just tell him that everything he does is awesome." And I tried it and it shit worked. I couldn't get rid of that motherfucker. But it's like, well, her game, yeah, but her game is raggedy. She's got the part down about what to do to reel him in. But the stuff where she's messing up is, talking about you don't be with the guy that you trying to rein in and looking at other men and talking about the other dude is hot because then that he gets knocked off the train track. You got him on the train, right? You got him. He's like he's all on board. But then you start doing stuff like that, and it raises doubts, and then he's like starts questioning things because you already know men are insecure. They're insecure. So that's why they need all this propping up and all this, you're so awesome, you're the best. Oh my God, I've never had anything like this. And all that hair flipping and fake screaming that they be doing, all that stuff is designed to prop up his ego and get him, on board. Thinking that this is the woman I need to be with because when I'm with her, I feel great. Yeah, you do. You feel great because it's all a bunch of smoke and mirrors. You ain't fabulous and you ain't stroking like that either. Let's get real. That shit they know channeling what's the name? Meg Ryan and When Harry Met Sally. Oh my God. They be faking that shit. They be talking about it all the time at the gym. I'm like, wow, y'all is some a trip. But that's why so many white girls is married and black women are not, because they be doing all this fake shit and the guys fall for it. I'm telling you, these women told me this. I worked there for 8 years, and every one of them had some version of that story about how they did that. Yeah, but see, that's what, black women don't want to do that. We're like, fuck that motherfucker. Prop up his own ego. But, this is white, what the white girls do is just different. And I was, we used to talk about stuff like that, race and culture and all that stuff. We'd have some very interesting conversations during their training sessions. Yeah, ain't nobody got time for that. But I'm telling you, I was like looking at them like, well, all their kids went to private schools and they went on vacation to Europe for a month and stuff. Where do we get to go? Disneyland. So, there might be something to this. For those of you who are young enough to want to do this experiment, see what happens. Do an experiment and see what happens. Because I don't give a fuck. I'll tell somebody, no, I don't like you. You stink, you ugly, and you get on my nerves. Well, it's not necessarily narc. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. This isn't. It's a way that they were taught to interact with men. It's not narcissism when it's different. It's part of the culture. And that's how the girls are taught to interact with men if they want to get one. So it's just different, I'm telling you. It's just different. The conversation we used to have were kind of amazing, but they do all this stuff. So anyway, young man, to answer your question, you have to understand that she might do all this stuff and it makes you feel it all good and everything. But how sincere could it be if she, in the middle of a date with you, proclaims all this excitement over a guy that walks by and how hot he is? And this is the same thing I would tell a woman who is with a guy. He's going to be looking at all these some women and actually verbalize, ooh, look at her booty or something along those lines. Okay, that is the utmost in disrespect. Now, the fact that you took it is kind of amazing because I would have got up and left her ass there and say, well, you think he's so fucking hot? You going over there with him because we're done here, ma'am. We're done. I'm not dealing with that kind of stuff. That's just utter disrespect. And then, you did it, so you've made a marker. So now she knows that there's certain things that you're just going to tolerate and that she can get away with. That was a mistake. Okay, that was a mistake. You're supposed to cuss her out. And on this, and telling you want to know where you are and all this kind of stuff, you shut that down. You say, look, bitch, you ain't my mama. I go where I want to go because I'm a grown ass man. Don't be asking me stupid shit like that. And then you say, what else do you want? Well, see what I mean? You got to G up on her. You're letting her have way too much power and control over you, and I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling this at all. You're losing man points here. I know you're trying to think, oh, I'm being nice and all this kind of stuff. There's a certain, like if you guys were married and she need to know where you are so you can stop at the store on the way home and pick up stuff for dinner or something. Okay, well that's different. But just to call and ask you where you are during random parts of the day, what are you doing? Where are you? What are you in your car? Where are you going? You know, all kind of stuff. That's no, nobody should be doing that. I mean, there's a reason why somebody should do that, like I said, but not just all the time, just randomly throughout the day. So what I'm going to, you say that she has doubts about that you want to be with her. Next time she brings it up, say, you know, you're right. Because of some of the things that you've done and said, you'd make me question what your feelings really are. So let's take a break. Don't say you were breaking up. Just say, oh, let's just take a break. Yeah, it is game. That's all it is. But, I mean, they teach it to each other. I'm telling you. It's just, you know. And then you say she cheated on her last partner and then she told you? Why would she tell you that? And you don't see where that might be an issue in your relationship, especially she's sitting right there telling you that some other dude is hot and she like separates herself from you. Like she's not really even really with you so she could, be all interested and available for dude. That's sending a message, body language. That's communicating a message here. All in all, I'm not feeling her. Now you do what you want to do. Of course, you're a grown man and you all the way on the other side of the world. But now I would be shutting her ass down. She wouldn't get nothing out of me. That's most women, Latasha. I mean, who said that? Introversion. Most women talk too damn much. Always running their fucking mouth, talking about some shit they don't need to be talking about. Read the damn book. Talk about the book. Stop telling me and all these gory details about your life. They don't need to know all that shit about your past. Let's move on to question number 6. This is 6 of 25. If you just came in, watch your language. Watch your language in the chat. You can, use acronyms or, hint at things. Don't put them in the chat, okay? Question number 6, female, 26 to 29, Reading, Pennsylvania. Me and my boyfriend have been together for many years, but he is emotionally reactive. A bit. He gets mad whenever he feels he has let me down. He gets frustrated when we're trying to fix or solve something, a broken something or assembling furniture, for example. He storms off when we are discussing an emotional topic or arguing. He gets stressed and overwhelmed, traveling. The list goes on. He is very caring and loving and not critical of me at all, but he is very reactive. I don't take it as a personal attack, but I definitely get upset and feel like my life isn't very happy when it should be, and I feel like the highs are infrequent and the lows are very low and frequent. What should I do or say to him? You should say to him, goodbye, sir. I'm chucking up the deuces. I'm out. I'm out. This way and that way. I'm gone. Something along those lines. But yeah, you should be getting rid of him. Okay, first of all, sounds like a guy who has what's called histrionic personality disorder. It is a real thing. It's a mental illness personality disorder. You can find a video on this channel about it. This is him. Okay, he gonna be flying off the handle and acting stupid about everything. Who got time for that? And you said that y'all been for many years, and you've been dealing with this for many years with his crazy up and down, flipping out and stuff. So you get one time with me. You get one time. You flip out because something happened about putting together something, and you gonna flip out, and we having a discussion. You gonna walk off. I think you gonna disrespect me like that, and I'm gonna still be there when you get back. Oh, no, we're not playing that game. You're going to sit your fucking ass down, and we're going to talk about this like adults and resolve this problem. You want to just walk away and just leave me hanging like what I'm talking about is irrelevant? It's not important to you? Guess what? I'm out because you're not important to me. That's how that goes. So I don't know. Y'all be this lady, you just take so much drama and abuse, and you talking about the lows are frequent. What is there in this relationship that you're getting out of this? that you have to be dealing with it, trying to hang on for them little specks of good times that come in between all the rotten stuff that he throws at you. I don't know. I mean, all I can tell you is that this is a sick and twisted relationship with a man who's got mental problems. And you want to stay in it, that's up to you. But I would suggest that you not, and that you go and find yourself someone who's mentally and emotionally healthy to have a relationship with. This is never going to give you're never going to get the feeling that you're looking for of being taken care of and valued in a relationship with someone who treats you like this and acts like this. So immature. Yeah, you can have your feelings, but you need to stay in man mode. Okay, when you start flipping out, going into little bitch boy mode, well, then we have a problem, and I don't want to be bothered with you. We can't do that. Question number 7. This is a young man, 30 to 36, out of Sacramento, California. It's a long story, but I'll try and keep it short. Thank you. I have been friends with this woman for many years, more than 4. We met at an AA meeting, Alcoholics Anonymous. She was new to the program, and I kept it extremely platonic. There are many ways she is the perfect person for me if she could only maintain sobriety. That's a big if, sir. I'm comfortable being myself and showing her the darker sides of me being OCD. She is likewise comfortable around me. We are both in our mid 30s. We've never been married, no children, and we both want that. We are both alcoholics. Granted, I have been over 5 years sober. There were a ton of positive to her, and in many ways, she seems like she would be the perfect woman for me if she could sober up and maintain it. Nothing physical has happened between us. I won't let it. I've made it extremely clear to her that she has to get a year sober and really be dedicated to it before I'll consider letting things advance. Until that happens, she's stuck in friend zone. Through the years, she has struggled with sobriety and she's been in the hospital twice with pancreatitis. The lack of sobriety, of course, leads to other problems such as the inability to maintain a job, amongst other things. It's an odd place to be. There's this person who's otherwise perfect for me, and yet there's this huge problem. What approach should I be taking here? You should be taking the approach that you channel Forrest Gump and you take off running in the opposite direction from her. That's what you should be doing. Okay, she's a drunk. Okay, she's struggling with it. She's a drunk. She's destroying her body with alcohol. Please tell me where that body is healthy enough to produce a viable pregnancy. Do you understand the drain on the nutrition and the muscles and the joints and the ligaments and the tendons that take place on a woman if she is when she's pregnant? Whatever she doesn't eat nutritionally, the fetus is like cannibalizes it from her own body. If it needs more protein, it's getting it from your organs and your ligaments and your tendons and your muscles. It's like a little parasite. And I tell people that all the time. They don't like, you, that's mean to call a baby a parasite. That's exactly what the fuck it is. You're the host. And it's a parasite. And it's gonna get everything it needs that is available from your body. So either you eat well and take prenatal vitamins, and you don't drink and you exercise, you do stuff you're supposed to do, so that both of you come out, very healthy on the other side, or you're gonna have problems. This woman's body is already in crisis. Okay, so there's no way she can have a pregnancy. So you dream of being a father and husband and stuff, trying to put this person in that role is stupid. Okay, it's a stupid one. Then she's a drunk. Okay, so she gonna get stressed. You think having a big kid is like a picnic? It's fucking stressful as hell. She can't even handle just regular life or a job. She stresses out and drinks. What do you think she would be doing with the screaming baby while you off at work? This is a bad dream. I know I don't know what fantasy world you trying to live in and having this stuff. Oh, well, it would be perfect if only. Okay, that if is like 90% of the problem of what's going on here. Okay, you focusing on that little 10%, that's good. Sir, you need to wake up. Wake up and smell the Hennessy. Cuz you losing here. You might want to go back to AA, or see if they can refer you to a therapist, because part of alcoholism is this insistence on living um, in a fantasy. They don't want to accept reality for what it is. So you try to create an alternate reality in from at the bottom of a bottle. Um, you need some therapy. I mean, the AA is good, to help people focus and get off, but that's just only part of it. And the rest of it is you got some emotional problems that you need to deal with concerning the opposite sex and relationships that you have not addressed. Okay, I'm glad you 5 years sober. Congratulations. That's no easy feat. That's good, great, wonderful. You on the path. But now it's time for you to put the frosting on the cake and start delving into your emotional issues and why you view someone as messed up as her as perfect for you. You see what I mean? There's a problem there. And that would be my suggestion for how you start working your way through this. Well, yeah, that's right. Can you get fetal alcohol syndrome? Like if she starts slipping up and taking a sip while she's pregnant and stuff, man, that would be terrible. I don't understand. She would be so off my radar. But, it's not about me. Question number 8, female 18 to 21 out of San Jose. A few weeks ago, me and my friend of 6 years were out walking. We passed a police car and she started making little jokes like, be careful, they might shoot us for looking suspicious. And better talk quiet so they don't get suspicious. Making like dumb jokes. She then says, ha ha ha, no, I'm not worried. I'm the least threatening type of person. I'm like, what? What does that mean? And then she goes, like, I'm just a little Asian girl. And I just laughed at that because what? Then the topic changed. I didn't think much of it. But when I got home that night, I kept thinking about what she was saying, and it didn't sit right with me. The fact that she's the quote least threatening type of person means that she thinks there's a most threatening type of person. Take a guess who that is. Good thinking. The reason I'm hurt is because I'm half black and definitely look more black than I do my other mix. Also, because she is in a police program right now, she already has these biases before even getting any actual experience. I don't know if this is really a question for you, but it is about a relationship, our friendship. It was a really small thing, but it's still bugging me. I'm her only black friend, but she does have friends of other races, just not black. But I always assume it's just because there are not a lot of black people in our area, it's mostly Asian. And I hope she doesn't think that I'm different. I don't really want to bring it up with her because she'll just say something like, oh, I didn't mean it like that just because I'm short. But clearly there's something else. I don't know. What do you think I should do? What you have here is those kind of comments are called microaggressions. You can look that up and see how it is. This little thing is not overt, but you as a person of color know what they're doing. You know what they're doing and they know what they're doing. So with her, you guys been friends for 6 years. That's a long time. But I'm going to tell you this too. You're at that age group where you're changing. And you're going to start growing and maturing. And a lot of times, the people that you were friends with all through your teens are not going to be your friends when you get into your 20s. I'm just bracing you for that reality. That's how it goes because people mature at different rates. And, we have some people that just really have a very poor understanding of social issues and don't see that what she's talking about is not fucking funny. Okay, so what I would suggest is you sit her down because this is going to eat at you if you don't speak up. You're not going to feel comfortable around her. It's going to be very awkward because you're going to be angry. This is bothering you enough that you wrote to me about it. That means it's bothering. So what you're going to do next time you two are together, say, I need to talk to you. I want to add, want to review that stuff that you said when we were together last time about, not being suspicious about the police and all this kind of stuff. Why would you say something like that? And then she's going to say whatever she's going to say. And it's like, well, I was just kidding this and that. And say, okay, well, in this country, black people are being gunned down just walking down the street. Ahmaud Arbery jogging down the street. The Brooks girl in her apartment. People just living their lives, being pulled out of their cars by cops and shot. Why? Because people like you, and I would definitely put her ass in that category, think that they look suspicious. Haven't done nothing, just being a human being living their life. But now they're dead. So you thinking that that's funny and that's something that you should make a crack about was rude, insulting, and I'm not going to tolerate it. So if that's the kind of thing that you think is a joke, I'm still waiting for the punchline. Where is it? But I'm going to tell you this, if you ever say anything like that to me again, our relationship is over. You better be sensitive to the fact that I'm part black and avoid any kind of conversation that make jokes about black people being tortured, killed, lynched, beaten, or anything else. It's not fucking funny. And as far as she's Asian too, then you could also bring up the thing, just thinking now, and it wasn't that long ago in the 1940s that all the Japanese people in this country got rounded up and put into internment camps for no reason other than that they were Japanese. And we were at war with Japan. But these were Japanese Americans. They didn't have nothing to do with what the Japanese did in Japan. They weren't there. But somehow, people perceived them as suspicious and a threat. And look what happened. They took their land, they took their businesses, they took their homes, they took their bank accounts, they took everything from the people because they were, quote, suspicious. So don't think that your people escaped. Okay? This is some shit that happens all the time. So either you're going to be on board and we're going to fight racism and all this stuff together, or you're going to go on your own because I don't have time for people like you. That's what you need to tell her. You can listen to this tape, put it in your own words. You know what I mean? You're going to have to put it in a way that's comfortable for you to say. But that's the message that that little bitch needs to get, that you ain't having it. And that she better watch her fucking mouth. Okay? Now, if that was me, that's how the message will be delivered, you know. And, yeah, I know you were stunned. I know you were shocked, and I know your feelings were hurt. I'm not discounting all of that. You're young. This has been your friend for 6 years. You never thought that she had a racist side, but now it's exposed itself. And so that's what I'm saying. Sometimes as you grow older, you change and you start to see people with a different vision. Like your third eye starts working and you start to read people in a different way and you can see who they are underneath the words that they use and the face that they have. You can see it. It will happen again when you get about 27, 28. You'll shed those friends and you're going to your 30s with a whole new crew. Happens all the time. So this is something you're going to have to practice. And as a woman of color, even if you're only half black, they still going to see you as a woman of color. And you say you look more black than anything else. You're going to have to learn how to stand up for yourself. And you're going to have to learn to speak up and check folks when they get out of pocket. Okay. It's unfortunate you didn't even get to make it through your teens yet before you had to start dealing with this shit. That's very sad. Last part of your childhood is being ruined by this nonsense. But it's time for you to buck up, okay? Little sister, got to get it together. Ooh, but yeah, she would have been every kind of hoe bitch I could have thought of. I don't hold back. This is just so disgusting. Latasha, exactly. Exactly. Question number 9. 9 of 25. If you just wandered into What the Fuck Tuesday because you said, oh, look, a live stream. I'm going to go find out what this is. We do this every week. People send in letters. I read the letters out loud and then respond to them on the fly, just off the cuff. People come here. Some of them have written in and they waited to hear, if their question was included today. Others just come for the sheer entertainment value. But glad you're here. I hope you enjoy your time spent with us. We got 25 letters today. We're only on question number 9, so we'll be here a minute. And, feel free if you are not already to hit that subscribe button, okay? Become a subscriber to this lovely, wonderful channel and join the crew. That's what we call it. Okay, so this young lady's question 9 says she's 18 or 21 from Ontario, Canada. My best friend and I have been friends for years now. We've always been very close. For all the time that I've known her and before I knew her, she's really struggled with her mental health. For her privacy, I won't get too into it. Well, girl, we don't even know who you are, but okay. But she's had terrible anxiety and depression for basically her whole life, and that is the tip of the iceberg. She also doesn't have a great home support system, if that matters. I love her so much, and I'm so happy I can support her and listen to her whenever she needs, but I'm so tired, exhausted, actually. I'm currently at the lowest point mentally that I've ever been in my life, and I'm really struggling to try and help her with anything or listen because it's so painful to hear her struggle. I want to be there for her, but at this point, I don't even know what to do. I'm basically her only emotional support, as I'm the only one who knows everything that she does or feels. I'm asking what boundaries I could set that would help our friendship become a little less heavy for me. Also, she won't go to therapy. I've tried to get her to go many times. All I can do is support her. We are both 19. Okay, you're a kid in Ontario, Canada, and this girl is sucking the fucking life out of you. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's nice. Obviously, you are a great friend to have. Let me give you those kudos. You are the kind of friend, to have your back, sounding board, be there for the people that you love and care about and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I wish more people were like that, so that you guys, but it has to be mutual. Okay, your friend circle, you guys have to provide that for each other. Okay, it should never be one-sided like this relationship. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna have to sit down with her and you're gonna say, for years now, we've been talking about your problems and your issues. Have you ever noticed that you never listen to mine? Everything's always about you. Why is that? And she gonna start stuttering and stammering and looking around and blinking and trying to figure out what just happened and why you aren't there for her. Say, I've reached my limit. Everything that I suggest that you do to mitigate your problems, okay, you might want to use that word. Okay, to solve your problem, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. You want to stay miserable. That's what that means. You enjoy hurting. It's fun for you. And I know this is mean, and I know a lot of people say, well, she got mental and emotional problems. Yep, that's not that's not cool to say that. The fuck is not. Okay, she's given 6 years of her year, whatever number of years, for supporting this girl, and she's drained. She's exhausted now. She can't even take care of herself, and this girl's not giving her any energy to help her take care of herself. She's just there to take. So this is unfortunately, this is what you have to do. She has parents, and her home life and stuff is their responsibility. It's not yours. It's great that you want to be a support system and stuff, but it's not your wagon to pull. So you're going to have to tell her that. So, this relationship is very one sided and I'm exhausted. I can't do this anymore. So either you get your ass in therapy and then we could talk about the progress that you're making in therapy, or I'm going to not talk to you anymore. Or very, very limited because I'm having my own problems and nobody's there for me. You're not even there for me. All you wanted me to do is be there for you year after year after year after year. You don't give me anything. This is a one sided relationship and I'm done. Okay, she gonna be shocked. She gonna be appalled. She gonna be stunned. She gonna be like, but. Say, no, 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 no. Because I told you, you don't want to go to therapy. That means you don't want any help to resolve the problem. You just want to bitch and moan about it over and over. You're not doing anything to resolve it, though. So I'm done. I'm out. Don't call me. I just, you're going to have to see it again in that same age group, that 18, 19, where you start seeing your friends for who they really are. And she's not going to be a friend of yours as you turn 20. This friendship will be left behind in your teens. And then, like I said, when you get 27, it's going to happen all over again. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I mean, I do this column, but this is it. Like in my personal life, I have friends that do, have problems and stuff, and I be very clear with them. I've been listening to you talk about this, but you ain't doing shit about it. So I don't want to talk about this anymore. And I just tell them. It's not mean or anything, but it's like I don't want to hear it over and over and over and over and over. You're not doing anything to change the situation. You just want to wear me out talking about it. No, I don't want to do that. I have other shit to think about. Plus, I have my own problems. Thanks, Latasha. Oh, yes, wine. I forgot. In my special Jim Doll wine glass. Yeah, I don't know. I'm telling you, that's what you have to do, though. You have to have boundaries with everyone. And it's young ladies in this age group, it's time that you start learning them because if you can't handle a female friend, your ass is going to be roadkill when you start dealing with these dudes, especially you 18, 19, 20, and you dealing with some dudes a little older than you, 24, 25, 26. They got some life experience that you don't have yet. And they going to roll in and just make you a cream sauce. So you better listen. You got to start getting get your voice and start speaking up for yourself and setting and maintaining boundaries that protect you. Okay? So this is the first. This is gonna be the first go round for you, but trust me, it won't be the last. Question number 10. This is a young man in the 21 to 25 age group from Winnipeg, Canada. My girlfriend I live with my girlfriend I live with and have been with for a year has recently been contacted by her ex to come work with him in the hospitality industry as his number two. Hmm. She has been honest with me about it and is seriously considering accepting the role because it's a job she'd love and she's coming back from depression and thinks it will help her get her spark back. My concern is the ex. She had an affair with him and he left his wife for her, but their relationship ended and then we got together. But I have a feeling she still harbors feelings for him. Ultimately, I've told her the decision is hers, but in my head, if she goes to work with him, then I'm out. I'm not putting myself through periods of what if. Am I wrong? No. You have every right to have whatever boundaries work for you. Um, yeah, you know, if she's been having all this stuff and, you know, this is a good job for her and, you know, the money's going to be good and stuff, she would have to, you know, think about, well, do I give that up for you? You ain't even married. Okay. You just a boyfriend. Easily replaceable like yesterday's draws. I hate to be blunt, but that's just the way it is. Boyfriend, you know what boyfriend means? Girlfriend means who I'm fucking right now. That's all that means. People just get all these things and all this like angst about it and think, oh, it means something, and all it don't mean shit. It's just who I'm fucking right now. Next month it might be somebody else. I get a new boyfriend. I get a new girlfriend. I don't know if it's people like, that's my man. I'm gonna do this for him. I'm not doing shit. And at one point, I'm going to make a video because a girl asked me this question like this. She says, "Well, your belief that people are single until they're married. How do you start prepping? What's the path then to reach marriage?" I said, "Okay, I'll make a video about that because it is a thing. It can be done, but you have to still keep in mind that up until the moment you say I do, you're still single. So much shit happens on the day of weddings, the night before weddings, the week before weddings, the month before weddings, and all the time people feeling like, that's going to be my husband. That's going to be my wife. Oh boy, do they get a shock and a surprise. So it's something to talk about. So we'll have to do that. Okay. Thanks, Natasha. This is it's a thing. So let's move on to question number 11. Female 26 to 29 out of Los Angeles again. I am currently in grad school and doing very well in my program. I've been dating my boyfriend for over a year. He is very worldly and able to remember vast amounts of information, especially about politics and history. Ugh, I hate people like that. Just a little backstory about me to put things into context. I was raised by a narc and sexually abused as a child by someone else. My opinions never mattered, and so I have to this day an inferiority complex. You can see it because when she puts the I, it's lowercase. I'm usually too afraid to talk in a group situation or even to voice my opinions. I don't have a good memory, so it's hard to remember movie plots, historical events, or political issues. I am often silent because I feel unable to substantiate something or I simply don't know the situation being discussed. As a result of my upbringing and low self esteem, I have been the perfect target for people with narcissistic tendencies, including friends and romantic partners. My current partner will often make slights towards me, like say I know nothing or I'm not well read, say I should know stuff. He never comments negatively on my appearance and often says how attractive I am. When I have confronted him and said that it really hurts me when he makes me feel stupid or acts though he believes I'm stupid, he says he likes to needle me, that he's just joking, and that he needs to be able to needle me to be in a relationship. He says he doesn't think I'm stupid. Obviously, he has many good qualities and he's often nice to me. I'm just afraid of a couple of things. One is I'm afraid he could be a narc, but on the other hand, perhaps I'm just super sensitive from my past experiences. The second thing I'm worried about is that my already extremely low self esteem is worsening from my relationship with him. I love him though, and I don't really know what a healthy relationship looks like. I would like to add that I saw a psychologist for many years. Please help me. Okay. You're 26 to 29 and you're in graduate school. Okay. What advanced degree does he have? Does he have a PhD too? A master's degree, whatever it is you don't say what level you going for in grad school, but MBA, MA, you know, MFA. I mean, what does he got that's on a par to yours that would make you believe that you're stupid? You don't get into grad school if you're stupid. Okay, let me just tell you that. You don't get in. And if you do, you flunk out. You don't stay in there. So that alone should let you know that you're not stupid. Okay, so when he says, "Oh, you don't know," I knew enough to get in grad school, motherfucker. I don't see you with a master's degree or a PhD. All you got is a bunch of books and you memorize a bunch of bullshit, irrelevant bullshit that don't nobody care about. Politics and wars and sports stats and all that old stupid shit that men like to talk about. Don't nobody be trying to hear all of that. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, but I got something for him to hold on. Okay, that's where I would start. The next time he's trying to say something where you don't know anything and this and that, I obviously that's not true because otherwise I wouldn't have made it into grad school, right? So I don't want to hear you say shit like that to me anymore. Okay, so then he gonna try to say, what did you say? He remembers movie plots. Oh no, you don't. What does he remember? Politics and history. Hmm. Well, I mean, so what he remembers politics and history. We ask him, what good does that bring to me in a relationship with you? How is you remembering stuff about politics and history making our relationship better? That's all I care about. You want to sit up there reciting things like your name is Encyclopedia Man or some shit. I don't care about that stuff. It's bullshit. You just want to have something to run your mouth about. You should be memorizing things about your woman, especially the part when I told you that when you say stuff like that, it hurts me. And yet you seem to forget because you keep doing it over and over. So guess what? The next time you do it one more time, motherfucker. We're through. One more time, you open your mouth and make a joke about me, call me a name, or do anything that demeans or degrades me, I'm out in this relationship. This farce of a relationship is over. Actually, let's make it be over now because I'm had it with you. I'm done. You get on my fucking nerves, Mr. Politic and History. Oh, I hate men like that. They want to, they want to lord over you. I call them a little professor type. They're like, oh, you know, in 1942, this and that happened, and this and that, and Hitler, and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. And they want to tell you all this stuff. And then, these sports stars, did you ever know that this guy, he was the first batter who hit this? Okay, and you sitting over there looking at him, your eyes is glazing over. And it's like, but your ass can't remember what I sent you to go to the grocery store for? You can't remember my birthday? You can't remember our anniversary? You can't remember your kids' birthdays, but you can remember some shit that happened in 1940? See, no, I'm done with you. Yeah, that's what I call them a little professor type, because you just see they just be just doing the most, acting like they just know everything. I can't stand them. I'll shut them down. Yeah, they are dry and crunchy. Oh, they get on my nerves. I can't stand dudes like that. God, they just want to like beat you over the head with all these facts and figures. Like that's meaningful conversation. It's like shit. If I just wanted facts and figures, I could go look it up on Wikipedia. I don't need you to tell. That's not a conversation. I don't know what the fuck you thinking. Um, you doing? Yeah, she's doing very well in her program. He's been dating him for over a year. Girl, you need to get rid of this fool. And you know what? While you in grad school, don't date. Concentrate on getting your grades up so when you graduate, you at the top of your class. Okay, that you go out and you get the most fantabulous employment situation that you can find that will be in line with your ranking in your schoolwork, and then you do that. Because he says, he believes you stupid and all the stuff, and he's joking. So, it's like, well, when you tell jokes, people are supposed to laugh. Ain't nobody laughing, motherfucker. So obviously your jokes bombed. Stop telling them. Or you want to joke about somebody, joke about your damn self. Joke about how come you don't know nothing to talk about except for facts and figures. You're boring as fuck. I just deal with you because I love you, but really, let's just be blunt here. You're boring. You're just like just watching paint dry. Your conversation. The paint is probably more interesting. At least it's a nice, pretty color. So I would just have to talk about him back. It's like, oh my God. You can just get started. Like, don't let's not do that. Cause see, once you say stupid stuff, see, then you start this. Once this starts up, it's all bad for you. I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna talk about you. I'm gonna talk about your mama. I'm gonna talk about all your siblings. I'm gonna talk about your daddy. Everybody. Everybody connected with you in any way, shape, or form. Your third grade teacher, I'm gonna talk about him too. Everybody. Yeah, he's a bum. So, girl, you need, I don't know, he probably don't even have no good dick anyway because he's too busy and he's in his head too much. You know, people in their head like that, they can't be in their feelings. And that's what you need if you're going to be a good coxman. You got to be able to feel something. So, I don't know. You don't know what a healthy relationship looks like. Well, let me just tell you, this ain't it. All right. Look on this channel. There's a lot of videos about what the men should and should not be doing. And your boy's friend is in the should not category. Ugh, he's gross. Question number 12 or 25. I need to stop talking so much. Female 30 to 36, no location provided. Hello, Deb. Thank you for all that you do. I have learned so much from you. When I date, it's for a purpose. I truly desire to get married. I am pretty reserved when it comes to eggplant and only have done it with men that committed to me as a boyfriend. I have been screwed over time and time again from just lack of knowledge. Oh, my parents were divorced, and I grew up with my dad, and there was absolutely no guidance about relationships. The last one really cut me deep, as I honestly thought he would propose and cut it off right before doing so. That means I wasted almost 2 years of my life. I am honestly trying to go about things the right way and set standards. After this last relationship, I couldn't help but feel I was his pleasure toy. Whoa. It was the worst. The relationship was by no means toxic, but not getting that commitment yet again stung me. Eggplant has never been a huge priority for me, to be honest. I'm still trying to find someone that can actually do his job in the bedroom, but regardless, I'm not overly sexual. I really truly desire the companionship and support. I'm at that stage where I want to get back out there, but I honestly do not want to sleep with anyone until I finally get my end of the deal, for lack of better words, marriage. I'm not religious at all and is not motivated for those reasons. I simply have come to a point where I feel extremely used for my body, and I just don't like that feeling. I know you're not big on this, but at the same time, you always tell us to be in tune with how we feel. Yep. I would like your input on this and if you have any other suggestions. I'm not planning on dating guys for 2 or 3 years before getting married. I'm almost 32, and if there is no proposal by year one, I'm out. So it's not like I'm trying to hold out on eggplant for years for this to happen. Hope this information helps you to guide me. Thanks again. Hmm. Oh, thanks, Shay. I'm going to say this. The only reason that you're not a fan of eggplant? Because you ain't had it right. Once you get it right, you'll be like, oh, wait a minute. This was kind of lovely. This was kind of wonderful. Ooh. That's that part. Um, and you want to get married. Okay, you grew up with your dad. You felt like you were his pleasure toy. Um, you know what? You know they have these I know it sounds really old fashioned. You have to pay some money, like matchmaking agencies. And they put together people who are, like in their 30s who are looking to be married. Um, you go on dates with them and all that stuff, and you don't have to sleep with them or anything like that. That's not it. But everybody that's on that buys the service, that signs up for the service, has that goal in mind. They're looking for a life partner. They don't want to be dipping and dabbing. Do I know the names of any? No, no. But I met some people like through my various employment over the years that was what they resorted to, and they had met their mate, husband or wife, and were very happy. So that's something to look into. You know, I don't know. Where are you again? Oh, that's right. It said no location given. So I don't know where you are on this planet, but there should be something in your area. Look up matchmaking services, not online dating. These are like people. You go and you fill out a profile. You talk to the person. They ask you about your likes, your dislikes, your history, all the stuff that you shared here, what your goals are, what you're looking for in your life, all this kind of stuff. And they match you with someone who has a similar, outlook and who's looking for someone like you. You guys, so the work of trying to find somebody, reading through all these millions of people, is done for you. Now, is that going to make guarantee that it's a match? No, but it definitely increases the odds, wouldn't you say? I mean, if I was interested in something, being married, that's what I would do. I know it might cost $2,500 or something, but you would finally you would get the relationship that you're looking for, and you wouldn't have to deal with any more duck butts. these, these guys are idiots. Yeah, I'm just saying, you have to. I don't know. Most of these men just don't know what they're doing in bed anyway. I'm just telling you that. But when you find one who does, it's a lovely thing. It's wonderful. That's all I got to say. But that would be my suggestion. So, like I said, you didn't put a location, so I don't know where you are on this planet, but certainly there has to be something in your general area uh, that operates like that. And check, with the Better Business Bureau and see if they have, what kind of references and testimonials that they have and stuff. If you ask if you could talk to some private, previous clients, stuff like that. Do your vetting and then write that check. And then send me an invitation to your wedding if you're anywhere in California. Question number 13, female, 37 to 45 out of Nevada. Deb, I have just about had it with people. I have tried to be kind. I have tried to be direct. I have tried to be mean, and nothing has worked. My partner and I have been together for 6 years. Our relationship has had its ups and downs. We have finally found our positive space where we both compromise enough to meet in the middle. Oh, that's how it has it. That's it. For the most part, we are happy 90% of the time. He has never been married and has always maintained that he never will get married. Personally, I don't care either way because I have been married once and I learned some hard lessons. My attitude is this: a piece of paper does not buy you loyalty and security. If a man is going to cheat, lie, or leave, he'll do that with or without a marriage certificate. So, in our age group, 45 to 60, what's the point? We don't want to go through the legal hassle of protecting assets, etc. I can see that. Here's the problem. Whenever we are at parties, friends feel like it's appropriate to ask questions like, why haven't you been married her yet? Or if he hasn't married you by now, he's never going to marry you, right? Or you must think you can do better than this hottie, so you're avoiding marriage. Wow. These people are bold as hell. We have tried in every way possible to let people know the status of our relationship is not up for discussion or judgment. We even cut some people off completely, but people still continue to find it appropriate to ask or comment. We were just at a reunion, and 8 different people through a 3-hour event asked me or us similar questions and made comments. It's really pissing me off. It makes me not want to go anywhere. And if I go upon arrival, I want to stand on a chair and say, nope, still not married. Nope, it hasn't killed me or him. Nope, we're not taking any questions tonight. My therapist says don't react to people will eventually stop asking. Well, they've been asking since year 2, so I doubt they're going to stop anytime soon. So you've been dealing with this for 4 years. Can you give me any advice before I knock someone out at a party? Yes, I can actually. My thing when every time people ask me stuff that is personal and intrusive and none of their fucking business, I just ask them, I say, now why would you need to know that? You flip it back on them. Why do you need to know that? And then they usually sit there and kind of, well, I was just wondering. Stop wondering about other people's business. Mind yours, or something along those lines. Now, you could be, as soon as they ask you that, say, stop being a nosy fucker. Stay out of my business. If you said it low and quietly right in their ear, nobody at the party's going to know that you said that. Don't you be asking me shit like that. Don't have nothing to do with you. Why are you concerned about what I do with my pussy? I'm vulgar like that and I'll just do it. But the main thing is, it's none of their fucking business. And, you say you try to be mean. I doubt you've been that mean. You probably, oh, well, giving some excuse and, something nice and stuff. I'm a firm believer in the lean in. The lean in is the thing. You just lean right on in there so your mouth is right here by their ears. And even though people talk about social distancing and all that kind of shit, you at a, professional event or something, you don't want everybody to hear you call somebody a stupid bitch. You're going to do the lean in. You can have your mask on. I don't know what the situation is, but you can still lean in. You just tell them, that's none of your fucking business. And then you lean back out and smile. And then you walk away. Stuff like that. You say that kind of stuff to enough people, they'll stop asking because word will spread. Oh, you know what? I asked her that shit and she told me it was none of my fucking business. So I'm not asking her that shit no more. And then other people be like, what? She said that to you? And then they'll be scared to ask because they don't want none either. And so eventually they will stop asking. People don't ask me that kind of stuff because they already know. They already know. Don't ask her nothing because she's just going to cut you up into ribbons. I'm just saying. So that's something to think about. Now, I don't know your personality. I don't know if that's something that you would do, but I highly suggest that resolution to the problem. You just do that a couple of times. I'll tell you, the word will spread like wildfire. You got the wildfires in Northern California, word will spread just like that, from fool to fool. And they will stop asking you that question. So you lean in, it's like, what I do with my pussy is my business. And they'll be like, oh my God, no, she did not say that to me. What the fuck? I'm just whatever you want to say. It has to be your language, your way of speaking. But I'm suggesting this for two reasons. Most likely for you, it would be out of character. So that alone will be shocking to them. Number two, it's so direct, so confrontational, and somewhat tinged with aggression that most people get scared and then they will stop. Whatever they was gonna do, they will stop because they see that you ain't the one. And it's like, you don't lean in. You need to get you some business and stay your fucking ass out of mine. Things along those lines. Think of, like I said, I just gave you some ideas, just things that immediately came to mind. So you come up with your own things. But I'm just, you have to use the word fuck, shit, pussy, mine, bitch, things like that. And then they'll stop. Because no matter what you said about you being mean, I know you wasn't nowhere near my level. You asking me some bullshit like that, bitch? What the fuck I do with my man is my business. It's not yours. Don't worry about it. She's like, oh, so I could be miserable and married like you, a Eminem? Married and miserable. No, I'm not trying to do that. Yeah, like I cuss, like I say hello. It's just who I am. But not everybody's got that mouth. So I try to give people alternatives. But in a situation like this, where you've been dealing with this for 4 years, it's time for you to ramp things up. Okay, I might have started, with year two. I might have been softer about it, but you said this has been going on since year two. That's 4 years. 4 years, these people have been getting on your nerves, girl. No, it's time for you to just roll up your sleeves and get gully. So you're going to have to fight. You better practice in the mirror if you're not used to cussing folks out. You better practice. Your man will probably think the shit is hilarious. Like you could practice, say, honey, next time somebody asks me, this is what I'm going to say. And see what he does. He probably on the floor, woo, 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 rolling around laughing. But I'm telling you, do that to a couple of people, they'll stop. They will be shut the fuck down. Oh yeah, yeah. Oh, I just see. Yeah, and then also the link, Lady Boss. The link to the thing is in the show description to the form. Started putting in there a couple of months ago because it's easier, so people can just go down to the in the show description below the video and click the link where it says "Get Advice." You could do that too, or you could go over on the blog, like she said, because there's a lot of articles and stuff over there you might enjoy reading besides the video. But I like this before I knock someone out at a party. Yeah. I'll be up there eating popcorn like, woo, look at the flying fists of death. Question number 14, female 30 to 35 out of Miami. What's the best way to cut a conversation short and decline to give a guy your number? Hmm. I went to a social event the other night and 90% of the crowd were men. Wow. Shoot, that's like a dream come true. So I got approached a lot, and because I'm an overly nice type of person, which I hate myself for, I ended up having long conversations purely out of politeness and even gave my number to two guys because I didn't have the heart to reject them to their face. I'm tired of wasting my time talking to people I don't really want to be talking to and giving my number to guys I'm not interested in. But at the same time, I don't like to come off as rude. How to usually cut conversations short and decline to give guys your number? Usually in a social setting like that, there's two things that I do. Number one, I have something called social cards. And on those cards is my name, my Google phone number, my YouTube channel, because, come on over here and click on some videos and make me some money, and my email. It's an email that I don't use for no other purpose except to collect junky ass men's comments and emails and begging and whining and thirst. Okay, so all of that goes there. You know, with Google phone number, you don't. They could call it till their fingers turn into nubs. They're gonna never get you unless you have it. Like I have mine set to come to my phone, and I can choose to answer it if I want to. But most of the times, I just look at it, and then that's it, because I don't know who you are, you know. And so that's when they say, "Well, can I get your number?" That's what they get. Here you go. Some of them are brave, and they'll say, "Well, is this your real phone number?" So call it and find out. Be brave, young lad. But that's all they get from me. The number two thing is, um, yeah, so every woman should have a Google phone number. The other thing you can do is, you go into an environment like that. If you're really not there, you're there for networking purposes, because I always be there about my money. I'm not trying to meet nobody. I don't want none of you raggedy motherfuckers, Oaklandites. I'm done with Oakland men. So what I do is I just have my standard spiel. I'm not here to meet anybody. I'm just here for the business opportunities, about making my money. So thanks. Have a brief conversation to them and say, well, this don't sound like we talking about making no money, so I need to go explore my other options, and just be like that. I'm not trying to be nice. You wasting my fucking time. I'm telling you, I'm the first date queen. If 30 minutes is max you get. You think I'm be standing around a party talking to somebody when it's a room full of men? I might, line up with somebody who wants to hire me to do design a brochure or something. Make me a couple of grand right quick. And I'm sitting up here talking to you, wasting my time talking about the weather and your trip to Cancun and shit. Bitch, I don't give a fuck about your trip. I don't give a fuck about you either. So I'm not gonna stand here wasting my time. Shit, my life clock is ticking away while I'm sitting here listening to your boring ass conversation. Yeah, if you make it about business and talk about your money, then and they'll be like, oh. Then they see that you're serious. Then they know they on some monkey shine shit, and they don't have nothing for you. They ain't talking about nothing that's gonna make you some money. So are you talking about a business opportunity, or are you just here to socialize? I'm here about making my money. I'm here for the business networking opportunities. So it doesn't sound like we're on the same page, but it's nice to meet you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And then I walk the fuck off. How long did that take? 20 seconds? Okay, just say 60 seconds, because they're going to come up and talk their little game, and then I hit them with that, and then they make that UE and going about their business. So, it becomes a point, though, ladies, this thing, exactly, your time is your money. That's what I keep trying to get these young women to understand. They want to waste all this time and time and time and time dealing with knuckleheads. You can't get that back. It's not like a dress you can take to the store and return it in exchange to get your money back. Once time is spent, it's gone. It's gone for fucking ever. You need to be very, very diligent about who you give it to. That is a resource that's irreplaceable. You can't ever get that back. Put more value on your time. And so that's what I'm saying. Yeah, you want to meet somebody. You want to go on a date. You want to meet somebody. You want to see, if you guys got anything in common, if there's a good vibe and this and that. You can do that in 20 minutes. Okay, you don't need to be stuck with nobody for 3 or 4 hours like that lady in one of the early letters. At a 3-hour dinner date and then went for a walk with the motherfucker. After that, that's 4 hours of her life that she's never going to get back wasted on a dust bucket. And you do, like, you internet dating, you're going to be doing that 10 to 12 times a month, wasting 3 or 4 hours every time. Oh my God. No, that is just too much. Just for a dinner? So you can feel like somebody valued you enough to take you to dinner? Hungry bitch? Take your own ass to dinner. Get in and out in 15, 20 minutes. Meet him, look at him, see what he's talking about, and be out. And if it's good, you can hook up with him again later. If not, then you just save yourself, 4 hours. Shit, how much money I could make in 4 hours? That, no. We're not doing that. So that is my suggestion. Get you some social cards. You can design them yourself. They probably have websites where you could, design them yourself, put your picture on there if you want to, like a sketch or some caricature, something like that. Don't have to be a real photo. And like a sketch is probably good. And or some little icon or something, or just your name and phone number and email and your website or whatever. I'm just saying. This is that's yeah my time. I give my time to y'all. You know why? Because I consider this my soul work. I feel like everybody is on this earth for a purpose. to make the lives of other people and the planet a better place. When you're not doing your soul work, you're on some bullshit and you're wasting your time. You're wasting your life. You're here for a reason. Get busy doing stuff. Okay, it's not to sit around, talking about TV shows and all this old shit here. You should be doing something with your time that's valuable and meaningful. Okay, I see girls spending hours on Facebook and stuff, and on these sites talking about rappers and music and clothes and stupid bullshit. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're wasting time. You should at least be in school trying to learn something so you can put it to use when you get out of school and do something great, grand, and wonderful for the world and the people that you come into contact with. You're getting education so you can execute your plan. Sometimes those things take time. You got to be, okay, you want to be a doctor. You want to go to some foreign country and heal the kids. Okay, well, you can't just be a doctor just because you want to. You got to put in years and years of study and stuff. Okay, so maybe that's your path. But at the end of it, you're going to do great things for people. You're going to make a great impact on the world. That's what you're here to do. Not to be wasting your time hour after hour sitting up there looking at some dusty ass bum and feeling satisfied because he paid $60 for a dinner for you. Yeah, that's it. They all hungry bitches. So stupid. Okay, let's move on. Question number 15. She says, oh, she's 21 to 25 and she's from Cleveland. She says, my relatively new boyfriend, I wonder, okay, relatively new, isn't working right now. We've been together for 4 months. So we met right when the worst of the pandemic seemed to be ending. He worked for his family before doing manual labor and it just didn't end well. So he quit right before COVID. I understand him not having a job again because of COVID, and we got along and everything was great. So I figured he'll just get a job when everything slows down. Well, now it's almost October and he still isn't working. And I honestly he doesn't seem interested in going back to work. I just got a second job because I'm 23 and will be 24 in 6 months and living at my parents' house and want to move out within the next year. And I know I won't be able to do so with my current income. I don't be working 6 days a week with 2 jobs. Well, I know he's sitting at home, not even with one. It also makes me think he doesn't care about us or our relationship, which may be dramatic, but I'm partly doing this because I know if I want us to have a good life together, I need to make more money. While this is a concern of mine, it seems like he could not care less. Every time I bring up him getting a job, he'll immediately change the subject or just tend to make a joke about it, about what I said somehow just to avoid talking about it. Tonight we went to a friend's house and he was doing a few things I wasn't comfortable with, so I was upset anyway. One of his friends there mentioned that a job was available doing something similar to what he did before with the company of their friend's dad. All he said was, oh, okay, and that was that. When we got home, I asked if he was going to contact his friend's dad about the job, and he was silent. I waited for a few seconds and then asked again, and he said, I don't know, in a stern voice. I asked him why he was mad, and he said he wasn't mad, just annoyed. And I sounded like, quote, his mom. And he's already in his own head about not having a job, and apparently me asking is making it worse. Well, if you're on head about it, then why aren't you not trying to get a job? I typed up his resume and created a job recruiting profile for him for employers to try and find him. Yo, no, you doing too much. He hasn't put in any effort to try and even look at the website, and I feel like I'm about to hit my breaking point with this situation. If I try to bring it up, he gets mad. If I don't bring it up, I'm upset because there's absolutely no reason for him not to be working. Deb, how should I go about resolving this if I can? I feel like the situation might be hopeless and maybe I should reevaluate it entirely. But then I also think maybe I'm just being too sensitive because we are so new in our relationship. No, you are in a relationship with a bum. He's a dust bucket. He hasn't worked since you've been with him. Okay? Why would you date somebody who's not working? A man who's not working, whether it's COVID related or not, doesn't need to be trying to date and get his swerve on. His monkey ass needs to be on every website, at every rolling up and down the block looking for, hiring signs. He needs to be doing any and everything he can to get his ass a job. He's a grown ass man. He's not a kid. You don't sit on your ass at home with your parents. No. Yeah, and this thing you creating a job posting for some. That's why you was acting like his mother. I told y'all. Maybe you didn't see it. I don't know how long new you are to the channel. Go and look at the video why you women should never help a man and read that because you just all kind of violations here. You just doing too much. You don't help a man do shit. He says, "Oh, I'm not. You're getting on my nerves. I don't want a job." I'll tell you, okay, well, let me let you go and deal with that because obviously you don't need to be fucking. You need to be fucking looking for a job. That's what you need to be doing. So lose my number. You broke bum. I'm out. And you are a young lady who's got like goals and you're working towards them. You're willing to put energy and effort into it. You are light years ahead of him emotionally and with determination and focus. This guy is nowhere near on your level. Lose him. He's weight around your neck. You worried all the time and energy you spending worrying about him. That's time and energy you should be spending and worrying about yourself, planning your future, looking and seeing how much rent is, making a potential budget for what you how much money you're gonna need. Putting starting to buy little things for your apartment that you're gonna have and storing away. That's what I did in my parents' house. I had a closet downstairs. We had like it was a converted Victorian, but there was an empty closet that nobody used in the living room. And that's where I would collect stuff. People started giving me gifts instead of giving me clothes and stuff. People give you for your birthday. They were giving me household items, sheets, towels, cookie jars, canister sets, electric frying pans. It was like a mini wedding shower, but it was stuff that they knew I was going to need when I moved out from my parents. And all my stuff was in that closet. And I started collecting it 2 years before I was actually financially ready to move out. That's the kind of stuff you need to be doing. Planning for your future, not worrying about what this dusty dump bum does. If his own parents aren't worried about it, why are you? You ain't married to him and you only knew him for 4 months. He's wasting your time. Get rid of him. Loser ass fool. Man, if you were my daughter, I'd be kicking your ass right about now. Say you did what? You dating what? He would have come and you bring that dust bucket up in the house. I said, well, where are you working at, son? Oh, I'm not working right now. Well, when is the last interview that you had? You waiting to hear back? I'm gonna ask some questions. Well, no, I haven't been on any interviews. Get the fuck up and get out of my house. And daughter, you through with him as of today. You confused about that? Then don't you bring your ass back up in here either. Because one thing we not gonna do is have you affiliated with some dust bucket loser. And she living at home with her parents. Oh no, she would have got told. You off on some bullshit right now, young lady. That's not happening. You weren't raised like this, and we're not going down this path. He's a loser, and he's out. No, yeah, no, he got to go. You got to get out of my house. I don't care where you go, but you ain't gonna be here. That's with your feet up under my table, trying to eat up my food and listen to run up my cable bill and put your butt prints on my couch. No, you're dusty. I don't like dusties in my house. That don't work for me. Typed up his resume. Question number 16. 16 of 25. Oh my God, these people are crazy. Male, 25 to 29, out of London. My girlfriend is a very straightforward person. She does not let things slide and build up. When something's wrong, she'll tell me outright and we'll go from there. I, however, am a very gentle person. I'm not one to lose my temperature or yell much. However, this morning things changed. This is really the only serious argument we've had in the 2.5 years that we've been together. So this morning, my girlfriend and I had a miscommunication because of something so stupid. We started arguing, which is something we almost never do. I go upset and start yelling, which is something I almost never do. I think I scared her because she started to back off a bit, but I followed her to the steps and she made this snarky, rude comment and I grabbed her arm. She turned around and I shoved her and she fell down the stairs. I think she's physically okay. She has some pretty nasty bruises on her torso and from where she fell, an arm from where I grabbed her, and she must have hit her cheek when she fell too, because there's a bruise and a cut there. She holed herself up in our guest room all day and won't talk to me. I don't blame her at all, he puts in caps. I don't know how to fix this, and I don't know what happened or why I did it other than just being angry. This has never happened before, and I'm not never going to do it again. I don't even hit my siblings as a kid when I was mad at them. I don't know what happened. I don't know what kind of advice I need. I guess I just need to know where to go from here. I feel terrible and I love her and I will never do it again. If I were her, I would be going to the police. And you know what? Your ass would be in jail and let you figure out why you don't know why you did it, why you in a cell, since you don't fucking know nothing. You knew when you put your when you put your hands out on that girl and you were angry that that was going to end badly. What you were supposed to do when you was angry was to take your ass in the guest room where she's holed up right now and close the door and stay in there until you cooled off. That's what you were supposed to do. Are you supposed to walk past or go down the stairs, get in your car and go somewhere and just in the park or something by a lake or whatever and cool off? That's what you were supposed to do. You were not supposed to put your hands on her in anger. Now, this is the problem with what you wrote here. This is the problem. You said you don't know why you did it other than just being angry. Just. Like you're diminishing the fact that you were angry and you hurt somebody, which could have been fatal because you know she could have broke her neck. And you could be in prison for murder right now. Young man, you are lucky that this girl did not die. That all she has is some bruises. What I'm going to tell you to do is you tell her to get her stuff and to go back to her parents' house because you have some work to do on yourself and you don't trust yourself around her. That's what you tell her. Oh, who did that? So who thank you the $10 donor. I missed it. Um you're not focused. You don't even know why you did something that hurt somebody. Get your ass in some therapy and some anger management and you tell her, you know, that you hope that she can wait, but if she chooses not to, that's great because you know that you have irrevocably ruined the relationship. That's what you have done. See, she because while I was in there in that bedroom, I'll be calling up my cousins and my brothers and everybody else I know who's a thug. And like this motherfucker pushed me down the stairs. I'm all kinds of fucked up. Come over here and beat his ass. And they would come. And then they would take him to the top of the stairs and fling him down so he could see what it feels like. You see how unfun that is? And grab his arm and fling him around a little bit. Yeah, he needs some help, but he would need some help. He gonna get it on his own over there somewhere. Don't ask me for shit. Don't ask me for understanding. Don't ask me for patience. Don't ask me for help. I'm not involved in your fuck up. Okay, you gonna handle that all on your own. So you, since you don't seem to want to take responsibility. Well, I was just angry. You say just like like discounting the importance of and the out of control nature of your anger. So you, for her safety, you tell her to pack up her stuff and you send her to her parents. That's what you do. You get her out of that house because she should not be around you till you get your mind right. And I'm telling you, lucky because if that was my daughter, I'd be over there shooting you. And you would be ventilated like a motherfucker. I see my baby all kinds of black and blue and fucked up. Oh no, your parents about to hold a funeral. That's what's going to happen. Shit. I'm just telling you. I don't know. I just can't. I don't know. I had to threaten this one little boy my daughter was messing with. Little fucker. He was a double black belt or something. Come by talking about, well, this it sound like you threatening me. I said, no, I'm promising your little fucking ass. You better bring all her shit and it better be on my patio when I wake up in the morning. Well, this and that, blah blah blah. My double black belt. I said, cause your black belt stop bullets? Then he got quiet. Cause it's like, no, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna just shoot you. And then I'm gonna bring all my boys from Oakland and we gonna stomp you. Let's see what your black belt's gonna do against 4, 5, 6 foot 5, 400 pound niggas. You ain't gonna do too good. Cause he was a little dude. All they got to do, when you got a little dude, I'm gonna tell you the secret to subduing somebody trying to kung fu you. You a big dude and they stand wide footed, so they have a good stance, right? They grab the little person and then they wrap their arms around him. So now his head, they like to try to headbutt you backwards and stuff, but you're too short. So your headbutt is just gonna bang on his chest. It's not gonna be very effective. Then they want to try to do that thing where they get their feet off the ground and try to flip you. Well, motherfucker, your feet are swinging in the air, so you can't get no leverage from the ground. And you in the middle of the room, so you ain't gonna kick up and hit the wall and do one of them running flips and stuff neither. You just gonna be dangling in the air, held by somebody who's twice your strength and twice your weight, and a good foot and a half taller than you. What you gonna do? You about to get beat up. That's what's gonna happen. I know, and you can see I've given this a lot of thought. How can I fuck over this boy? Because it's like, he just was trying to mess with my daughter. And I was just sitting there just plotting all kind of stuff I was going to do to him. So you see, I've given this a lot of thought. And then ultimately I decided that I would shoot him. And so I said, if you don't have her shit over here in the morning when I wake up, that's going to be what happens to you. Guess what? In the morning when I got up, all her shit was in the patio. Plus some shit that wasn't even mine or hers. It was just some extra stuff he threw in there. So that's how you got to do people like that. I don't give a fuck about your double black belt. Got a double barrel shotgun. That trumps a black belt any day. We want to talk about doubles and shit. Little monkey. Question number 17, female 18 to 21 from Southampton, England. I've been with my boyfriend since we were 12. Oh my God. It sounds stupid, I know. You right. Almost 6 years later, we're still together. Long story short, I have PTSD regarding an incident that happened 4 years ago with my mom's ex partner. An incident when he allegedly sleepwalked into my room, knelt down beside my bed, and started to run his fingers up and down my leg and over my body when I was asleep. I believe that this incident is one of the reasons why I suffer from PTSD. It's one of the reasons I often tend to feel claustrophobic and numb. Anyway, there have been a few incidents with my boyfriend where I've been upset about something in my life, having a bad day. He hasn't understood that it isn't the right time to try to be eggplanty with me. I feel as if he doesn't understand when the right place and time is for that based on my past experiences. Last weekend, we went out for a late birthday celebration, which was lovely. However, on the way home, I was falling asleep on the train. It was more than obvious I was exhausted. My boyfriend was staying around that night, so when we got to my house, I sorted out my room, took my makeup off, and got into bed. I made it clear that I just wanted to sleep, so I said goodnight to him and turned over so I could sleep. He began to complain that he wasn't tired, implying that he wanted to have eggplant before he went to sleep. He tried to make me stay awake just because he was finding himself hard to sleep. During the night, I woke up to him stroking my legs, bum, thighs, and my stomach. Obviously, I knew that he was in the mood, but I made it clear I was not, and I just wanted to sleep. I made it very clear that he had made me feel extremely uncomfortable and upset. I basically wanted to find someone I could explain my story to and see what your ideas on my situation, but most importantly, to see whether or not what I'm feeling is understandable. I suffer from trust issues anyway, so for my boyfriend to disrespect me in a way when he knows about my PTSD and past, and I'm still unable to control himself, it makes me question the relationship and the type of person that he is. I'm not sure if any of that made any sense, but I would appreciate your honest opinion and view. I'm desperate for clarity. Your boyfriend is a fucking uh well, let me not be too harsh. He's a fucking rapist. That's what I'm gonna say. This man knows that that's he's reenacting what happened to you that made you have trauma. Are you connecting those dots? You told him what happened and he's reenacting it. He's in some fantasy in his head about your abuse as a child, and he's reenacting it, which is just basically victimizing you and causing you to have that same terror over and over again. You can't even go to sleep around his ass because then he's gonna be doing some kind of freaky shit to you based on what you told him, which I tell y'all all the time. Don't never tell boyfriends stuff like that. You tell your shrink. You might tell your mama if she's the right kind of person, but since it was her boyfriend who did it, that might not have been a good move either. The only person you really should have ever discussed this with is your shrink. You don't tell husbands and you don't tell stupid boyfriends, which I always tell you. A boyfriend is nothing other than the motherfucker you fucking right now. That's all a boyfriend is. Y'all be putting too much on it. You know what I mean? This motherfucker right here, get rid of him. Get rid of him. You should have got rid of. Tell him to get up and get his shit and get out of your house that moment when he did that, when you woke up. Please find your voice, young lady. That's going to be half of the battle for you recovering from this. You got to start speaking up. You have to start defending yourself. You have to tell people no. Tell them to get off of you. Stop touching me. Get away from me. I hate you. Stuff like that. You're holding it in, and that's what's making you feel all this stress and what you're calling PTSD is rage that you haven't let go of. You're scared of it. You have to let that out. You've got to let it out. That's the only way you're going to feel better and be able to deal with it. You're furious that somebody had the nerve to do that to you. You're angry that your mother didn't protect you. You're livid that this man thought that he could get away with doing something like that to you when you were a little kid and just violate you and your innocence like that. All of those things make you so angry, but you're holding it in and you're killing yourself. You have got to let that out. You got to let it out. A safe space to do that would be with a therapist who understands, someone who treats, people who are survivors of child sexual abuse. You've got to let this out, and you got to get rid of this motherfucker right here. All he's doing is re-victimize you with his freaky fantasies. I want to shoot him. I want to shoot him. Where's y'all? Oh, England. Well, I guess I can't do that, but I sure want to. I'm just like, this is just unbelievable. This is why you just never tell Okay, Zatanna. That's what I tell you. Don't, women talk too much. You cannot tell these men this stuff about you. They just want to use it against you. They're gonna use it to manipulate you or make you do things. Or well, you did it with him, or you let him do it. I was a child. I was molested. I was assaulted. I was victimized. And you want to try to use that as a reason why you should be able to mistreat me too? See, these dudes, I'm telling you, there's something wrong with them. But you have got to stop telling men all these details about your life. Do this. Don't ever give them information to use against you like that. Keep that shit to yourself. I don't know why you don't believe it. Men are just shitty people in general. When you find one who's not, it's like an anomaly. But the most of them, they have a real serious shit side. Even if you don't see it for a while, it's there. Trust me. It's the right situation. It's gonna come out. And so, like just like she's been dating this guy for a minute, and then this happens. See, that's a shit show. He got to go. He got to go. Especially after she told him that. Now you see, now when he leaves you, now he has information on you. He could be telling everybody all the stuff that happened to you. That's why you don't never tell people that stuff. It's none of his fucking business. It already happened when you was a kid before you even knew him. Why does he need to know that? Stop talking about abuse to men. Stop it. You don't even talk about anything that happened with your ex-boyfriend. If he did something, punched you or whatever, they don't need to know that shit either. Don't tell them. Unless you're going to be going to court or something where, he has to know. But in general, you don't tell men anything that's going to make you look like a victim and vulnerable and weak. You don't do it. Don't. Do not. Oh, girl, I'm telling you, my own father told me, don't trust no man. They all shit. They're all shit. That's what he used to say. I was like horrified. But as I got older, even my husband, he had some shit going on with him that pissed me off here and there. You know what I mean? He wasn't perfect, but he learned enough to know, okay, maybe I shouldn't say this, so I'm going to shut up. As we, were together longer, as he learned, you don't say shit that's going to make me go off on you. I will cuss your bitch ass out. I don't give a fuck if we married or not. That don't mean that I'm not going to save you from me. You better watch what you say to me, and you better watch what you do. Don't have me bopping you or shooting you or something. This is terrible. This is absolutely awful that she has to endure this. I'm just so pissed right now. But anyway, young lady, I hope you understand where I'm coming from. This is about protecting you. This is not about me saying, I don't want you to have a relationship or anything like that. That's not it. This is a very unhealthy relationship for you. This guy is bad news for you. Because he's done this to you and violated your boundaries now, do you think he's going to stop? You can't even go to sleep around him. In your most vulnerable position, he's going to be doing stuff to you in your sleep. You've got to get rid of him. And then get yourself into some therapy, like immediately. Question number 18. Female 30 to 36 out of Paris. Hi, Deb. First, I want to thank you for being you. Oh, What the Fuck Tuesday is my favorite show. I've learned a lot watching it and had so much fun. But now it's my turn to be cursed out. Oh, I'm scared. I met this guy 2 months ago. He's 44. He's the most consistent guy I've ever known. He treats me like a princess. He has almost all I need in a man. He has good communication style. He's funny. The eggplant is amazing. Hmm. We both don't want children. That's why I have a hard time letting things go. Long story short, the first time I spent the night at his house, he put a drug in my glass without my consentment. I found out that he's a junkie. Yes, a fucking junkie. Oh, no. The last time I saw him, he admitted that he likes to take all kinds of drugs. He wanted me to try one. I have a tendency to self-destruct, so I said, okay. She put exclamation marks. I did not like the taste, so I said I did not want to finish it. He insisted, but I said, no. Leave me alone. It's gross. It was very salty. I wonder what that was. Even if he put a lot of juice with it. And I started to realize that it had the same taste as the glass he had given me the other day. I confronted him about it, and he denied it, but I know this motherfucker did it. I'm about to dump him, even if I like him very much, but this is not acceptable. I'm 36. I know that I can meet other men. It's not a problem. People find me very attractive, even if I'm a little bit overweight. I'm working on it, but sometimes I just want to let myself go since I'm attracting all kind of crazy men. And this junkie is the most decent amongst them. What a sad life. I guess I don't really have a question. I just wanted to share this with you in the squad since I can't talk about it to anyone else. Sorry if my English is not 100% correct. I'm still learning. Love you guys. Deb, you are the best. And then she put a little heart. Well, no, you don't have a question, but I do have something to say to you and something I want to point out to women. This is something I've noticed. I'm not going to say this is the case in every single case on this planet since the history of time, but I have noticed that the overwhelming majority of women who try drugs for the first time is because of a boyfriend. Men get women into drugs. Oh, come on, just try it. Oh, it'll be nice. We'll have a nice trip together. It'll make the eggplant better. It'll be good. It'll relax you. It'll this and that. They coerce you into doing it. I have never seen a woman say ever. I'm sure there's some out there, but I'm just telling my personal experience in all my travels around the world and all my time on the internet since the early 90s. I was all over AOL and stuff. Millions of people I've been in contact with over these years. I have never, not one time, heard of a woman who picked up drugs on her own. They were always given to her by a man, usually somebody who wanted to get in her pants or was, already dating her. Or even if it's against your will, it's still a man. They slip it into your drinks against your will. You put it, it's always men. Well, let's get that lady boss, that last comment 1878 just made about women being junkies and pick-me's. Please delete that. One thing we don't do here, young lady, is blame people for what happens to them like that. Most of these people are very young, okay? They're stuck on that stuff about you know, being hold on a second. Being pleasing to the men in their life. They want to um, they want him to like them. And that's something that's ingrained into all girls, not just, the kind we like to joke about being pygmicious. All women get that message that we are supposed to please our man, right? That makes you a good girlfriend, aka a good wife. So I'm not going to limit it to that. And I'm not going to blame them for becoming, for using stuff because they're trying to please him. That is a thing that gets into young girls' heads early on in life. And it's something I fight vehemently against. That's why I constantly tell y'all, you please your damn self. You don't worry about no man. And once you have a strong boundary and moral stance, anybody that tries to get you to do something that's against that, you get rid of them. You don't be trying to please no motherfucker at your expense. Fuck him. I'm just telling you, I've never not seen this happen. They always put stuff in women's drinks, in women's food. They want to inject it in you secretly. They want to tie you up and inject shit in you. They want to just, coerce you into doing it. Well, you don't love me, then it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be good. We'll love it. We'll have a good time. This and that. So you're into that mode of pleasing your man. You're gonna try it because you trust him. He tells you it's not gonna hurt you, that it'll be a good time, and so you dummy do it. This is why parents have got to talk to their daughters more. If a guy's trying to get you to do something that you don't want to do, put some illegal substance in your body that's going to take you outside of yourself, cause you to lose your focus, drop your boundaries and your restraints and stuff. He's a predator. That's what that is. These men are all predators. I'm just like, this is unbelievable to me how many of them have, and they don't even see themselves that way. But it's like, otherwise, you would deal with a woman frontally and be like, well, I want to do this. Do you want to join me? And she would say no. And then you just go do it if that's what you want to, but you're going to be doing it by yourself because I'm out. I don't do junkies. I don't even like dudes that smoke weed. I used to be, do the date with them. Say they could do it. And, I'm fine with that. But now I don't even want that. You smoking weed, you doing all that shit. I don't want to be bothered with you. Get out of here. I just don't want to. It's something about it with men when they get to like that all the time, they lose focus. They lose that energy to do more and be better and achieve. It gets like dampened when they stay high all the time. And I don't want to be bothered. I'm doing like 900 things trying to make my mark on the world before I check the fuck up out of here. I need a man who's on that same page. I can't have you relaxing and chilling over there with joint after joint after joint and not doing nothing, giggling at the TV and playing video games and shit. We're not doing that. I can't. Yeah, I don't know. It's just something. I don't know. I've changed. As I've gotten older, I just there's a whole bunch of stuff I'm just not going to tolerate. That when I was younger, I was like, oh, whatever. Just let people be who they want to be. Da, 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 da. Now I say, no, I don't like who you are. Fuck out of here. That's how I am now. See, Leandra, I do see, but that's what I mean. They'll do the same thing to you. So I'm like, no, I'm not trying to be bothered with all of that. So, and the thing about it, you once you found out that he was a user, that was the day it should have ended. There should have been no further conversation, contact with this dude. You have got to have stronger boundaries with these guys, you know. But you'll be all right, And you say you're a little bit overweight. That's not why men don't go after you. It's a whole bunch of men that like a woman with a little cush. Not a lot, but a little bit. Enough so that you fill out your dresses in the top and the bottom, and you put on a spandex dress. There's something there other than a toothpick body. There's some bumps and stuff. What's MC Hammer's thing? Lumps and a bumps or whatever that song was. That's what. But there's like so many different men in the world, and everybody has different tastes. So don't think there's just one generic body type that you have to be to get male attention. That's not true. Just think about it. They like little girls, kids, okay? So why do you think that you have to have all kind of stuff going on to be this perfectly womanly body and all of that? These dudes are fucking weirdos. Question number 19, male, 50 to 55, San Rafael, California. Oh, Marin County. That's traditionally a very wealthy area in Northern California. Okay, so I'm a good looking male bachelor. I'm in my early 50s. I'm good looking. Okay, you said that already. In good health and quite wealthy. I want to find a young woman who would like to travel and see the world. Probably most women would fit this description, no? With me paying all the expenses. Sounds great, right? Will there be romance? Maybe, but only if we both want it. The problem is, I am only interested in women in their 20s and early 30s. And most, but not all women of that age are looking for men about the same age as them, maybe just a little bit older. Still, it must be the case that young women exist who would jump at this opportunity. The question is, how do I efficiently find such women and then screen them? Ideally, I would place an advertisement somewhere, but where? I don't want to use an online dating site or Tinder because then my photograph will be visible, and this will be a problem if family or colleagues discover it. The old, dirty old man stigma. And anyway, most of the women on those sites are not interested in older men. The older man, younger woman dating sites aimed are all scammy and fake. Any thoughts to help me solve this problem would be appreciated. And if you feel I need to adjust my preferences, please don't bother choosing my letter. Cousin, why did you put this in here? Because I'm about to cuss him out. I guess she did it for that reason, because she just wanted to see me go off. Look, you old bucket fart. Don't no young woman interested in you. She wants to get married and have kids with a man who's not going to be in retirement by the time her kids get in middle school. Yo, ancient ass sitting up there talking about you 50 to early 50s and in good health and wealthy, and you want a woman in her 20s to early 30s. They ain't trying to be bothered with you. And if you're not talking about somebody that says to scam me, that's all you're going to get is a woman who wants to scam you, Leandra. Leandra, this might be for you. This guy is just too much. This is too much. I tell you, travel the world and have romance. You just want to buy some booty for your travels around the world. You ain't slick. Look, fool, this is what I'm going to tell you. Go, they have like the Guardian newspaper here. That's where people put all kind of crazy ads. You can go put your ad in there seeking this and that. Okay, you better specify that you want a woman that's got like a natural vajayjay, because otherwise you're gonna hit up with a whole bunch of these trans folks. But you better specify what it is that you want, what you're looking for, and I'm sure you have lots of takers. And you just set up a thing and go and screen them and see what you get. Okay, that's what you could do. But don't be surprised if nobody shows up because you're old. Okay, just accept it. I talk about my oldness all the time. You don't see me putting up ads trying to get no young man to go do shit with me. That might be fun, but I know my limits. I don't have the energy to keep it with no man in his 20s or early 30s. I'm not. No. And you don't have it either, okay? In spite of all your proclamations otherwise, your good health, your 50-something-year-old dick is not going to be standing at attention like a 20-year-old man's would. So don't even trip about it. They not interested in you. Viagra needing motherfucker. No, the matchmakers don't do that. Matchmakers are people. The women sign up because they're looking for a husband. Okay, they want a family. They want this kind of stuff. But he's too old. You figure so somebody's in there. That's a 20, 25-year, 30-year age gap. So by the time they get with him and get pregnant, okay, now keep in mind his sperm is old and it's kind of deteriorating too. So now the high level of birth defects and stuff is high now because he got some ancient ass sperm. And so then you're gonna be sitting up there and the baby gonna come out looking old. You know how them old men have them old looking babies? Babies look ugly as fuck. Oh, the face is all crunchy and shit. No, no. And so the girl gonna be looking at her baby. She gonna look at her friend's baby by some guy who's young. Baby look all fresh and plump and cheeks all rosy and full and stuff. Then she gonna look at her baby all looking all dried up and looking like Jimmy Durante and shit. And she's gonna be sitting up there upset. She's gonna be upset, and then she's gonna leave you with your old looking baby and go on off about herself and find her guy in her age anyway. So stop this. You ain't wealthy enough for this. Okay, you just got a little change and live in Marin County. Your ass ain't balling like that. Oh, fucker. And so anyway, you say please don't bother choosing my letter. You know what? Let me explain something to you. Once you write to this column, I decide what happens. You don't tell me shit. Okay? You don't tell me nothing. We in the same age group. So I am just as an adult as you. And I will do what the fuck I want to and say what the fuck I please on my channel. You know, fool come writing me and trying to waste my time and think you're gonna be regulating on me. Yeah, see, Lee, that's what I'm talking about. I'll be looking at them too. I'm thinking, yeah, these old men need to sit their asses down and be somebody's grandpa. Last time I saw an old guy, he was like, I hate to say, well, I joke and call myself old all the time because I feel like once you hit 50, you on the downstroke. So, I'm in the old category now. And it's like I saw this old dude. They had a motorcycle gang. Have a lot of motorcycle clubs around here in Oakland and San Francisco, Richmond. These old guys on motorcycles. And so you go down, you see all these Harley. Then you see some old fucker on one of these tricycle motorcycle looking like a giant big wheel with a motor, and they be riding that thing around, and I just be dying laughing. It's like you got a motorized big wheel, and you're still shades of when you was 5, and you think you doing something. Who would get on the back of that shit? That's not sexy. And at some point, you got to just realize that your motorcycle riding days is over. You can't hold the balance because your ass is so shaky and old. You can't do it no more. Or you don't have the physical strength to manage the bike because some things is heavy. Then sit down, take a bus, get you a benzo or something. Drive now. Get in the car like everybody else. Your tricycle motorcycles it's just no. That they shouldn't even have ever made those. That's just a horrible, horrible thing. Yeah, this guy just a fucking dusty. Just happens to live in Marin County. As they used to have $1 million homes over there in Ross when everybody else's house was like $100,000. So that's he don't say where he lives. He just wait. What did he? Oh, San Rafael. That ain't even the rich part of Marin County. That's just the regular part. Question number 20. Female, 18 to 21, out of Wisconsin. Yesterday, the guy I liked dropped the news that he had stopped talking to me. Mm. He told me that he thought he would end up liking me more, but he didn't. He said he likes me, just not enough to date me. It came out of nowhere, and I didn't expect it at all. Hmm. You like him, but what was your status, though? I'm really hurt by this because I thought we were a good match. I spent a lot of time invested in getting to know this guy, and I thought everything was great and that surely we'd be dating soon. I feel played and rejected. How do I move past this rejection? Is there anything to heal from if we didn't even date? This honestly feels comparable to a real breakup. How do you get over a guy who just doesn't like you enough? So you telling me that you all in your feelings about somebody that you was trying to get on the hook, but he decided that he didn't want to be on your hook, and so he just said deuces. And you all in your feelings and it feels like a breakup? It doesn't feel like a breakup, only in your imagination. He wasn't your man. You didn't even date him. I mean, I don't understand. And you investing your time. Why did you do that? You know, you should have been investing anything if he wasn't putting forth equal effort. We're going to have a talk about that too. Matching energies. Because I've been watching people, I'll be out and about and I'll be watching people. Look at how much effort women put into trying to get him to talk and get him to do stuff and ask him stuff and trying to get him to be affectionate and give me a hug and do all that stuff. You got to be doing all that work. That motherfucker don't want you. So we're going to have a conversation, ladies. I think a lot of you just don't understand what's happening. You feel like you got to put in all this work to nothing. So in this case, young lady, that's what you did. You did too much, and then you was thinking that you was gonna get a payoff from doing too much, and he told you. So how do you get over it? You just I don't know, slap yourself. You'll be all right. Cause what you did was stupid. Come on now, you knew better than that. He doesn't like you enough. That's fine. I mean, why would you want to try to be in a relationship with somebody that doesn't like you like that? Like how you like him? Do you have one-sided relationship? That kind of shit sucks. Question number 21, female, 30 to 35 from Northampton, England. I'd be really interested in your and the squad's opinions about this, please. I've been seeing this guy for 10 days. Yes, you read that correctly. I've seen him 3 times, and last night was the fourth. The evening ended with me telling him I don't want to see him anymore, and I drove him home. He's saying I'm being really unreasonable and have overreacted. I think I've done the right thing completely, but I'm interested to see what you think. So basically, this is about booze. I know he's a drinker. He absolutely reeks of it. I made it very clear from day one that if he chooses to drink, that's up to him. But I can choose not to, and I can choose not to accept it. He thinks it's not all about the drink, but I think it is. Last night, oh my God, this letter's long. He was supposed to take me on a date. He wanted to go to the pub late yesterday afternoon and wanted me to go with him. I reluctantly agreed. Next thing I know, his mate arrives and the beer starts flowing. Then I go home while they talk business. The plan being that my date will then meet up with me in half an hour and we'll have date night that evening. Nope, didn't happen. 3 hours later, he and his mate turned up at my house drunk out of their minds. It was embarrassing. They were falling around in the road. And I was very aware of my neighbors. I was cringing with embarrassment. Anyway, I was very upset and annoyed. I straight up told my date that they had found such behavior unacceptable and I won't be seeing him again. As soon as his friend left, I drove him home. I've since had countless drunk texts and calls telling me how wrong and misinformed I am, that it's all my fault. He did nothing wrong and that I'm a head fuck. So my question is, what do you think? Am I wrong? Just to put this into context, I don't want to sound snobby because I'm not. But I'm 41. I've got a respectable job. I live in a respectable community, and I've got 2 children who I'm very protective of. I don't want this sort of behavior in my house, and especially not anywhere near my children. I'm also grown up and way past the stage of getting hopelessly drunk at weekends. In fact, I barely drink at all. I'm also very disgruntled that he was supposed to spend the evening with me, yet he manipulated the situation so he could get me out of the way so he could get blinding drunk with his mate. Any thoughts appreciated? Thank you for choosing my letter also. Let's start at the beginning. Let's start at the beginning. He was supposed to take you on a date. However, he wanted to go to a pub and wanted me to go with him, which I reluctantly agreed. That's where you made your mistake. You didn't want to go to the pub. Why did you go? Why did you go? See, you let yourself be coerced into doing something that you didn't want to do because you knew he was on some bullshit. You know, all that goes on in pubs is eating fish and chips and drinking. Darts, maybe pool if they got that kind of space, but it's just there mainly for people to drink and talk shit to each other. Now, that's not the environment you don't want to be because you say you don't really like drinking. So why did you go? So I got to put that part on you. You made a bad decision. Okay. Then you got upset because somebody else came and they started drinking. Wow. Drinking at a pub. What a concept. What else are they supposed to do at the pub? Okay. So then you go home and he was supposed to have a date with you and he says he's going to come home, but you know he's drinking, right? He's drinking at the pub with this guy. What kind of date did you think you were going to have after he'd been drinking with this friend of his? What you were supposed to do is say, "Well, you guys have fun. We'll let's reschedule." If you want to say that, or just walk out and block him on your phone so he can't do that. Then the other thing I want to admonish you about is you said that you went on you seen him 3 times. Last time was the 4th time. You've been dealing with him for 10 days. And this motherfucker already knows where you live with your 2 kids. Why did you do that? You're not thinking, chick. You don't bring some random motherfucker to your house. You only known him for 10 days. You couldn't possibly have had enough time to vet him to want to bring him around your children or to know where your children live. That was some really, really stupid decisions on your part. Okay, I got to ream you for this because you done a bunch of stupid stuff right here. Okay, then he comes to your house and he's drunk out of his mind and your neighbors and all this stuff. Okay, so now your kids, let's just say, I'm hoping they were with a babysitter or something because you were supposed to have this date, right? So they probably weren't at home. I'm going to hope that they weren't at home so they didn't see this. So he comes to your house and he's drunk. You know what happens to little kids when their mother's boyfriends are drunk? Bad things. You don't let no drunk man in your house where your kids are. You just don't. You don't. Okay, because they always use the alcohol. Oh, I was drunk. I didn't know what I was doing. Right? In the meantime, your kid is fucked up for life. While you was trying to be nice to some dust bucket alcoholic that you met 10 days ago. So, I know you was annoyed and I know you won't be seeing him again and you did all this other stuff. You know, at this point, you know what you need to do? Block him. So he can't be sending you any more texts and all stuff. I don't know why you haven't done that already. It was the second that you drove him home and he got out of your car, you were supposed to pull over the little wood down the road so he couldn't see you, pull out your phone and do whatever you need to do to block his number so he couldn't call you. Okay, but see, now he knows where you live, though. Mistake. Where your kids live. And if your kids are old enough, see, and they going, when school opens back up, they're going to be going to and from the school and by themselves, right? And you got some fool knowing where your kids are and where you live and all this old stuff. See, y'all don't be thinking. Y'all don't be thinking. You made a lot of really piss poor decisions here. You talk about you got a respectable job and you respect the community and all that stuff, but you stupid. Okay? Don't get too high on yourself. You stupid lady. You made a bunch of dumbass decisions here and put your children at unnecessary risk as well as yourself. And you worried about him spending eating with you. Well, yeah, that's what you need to do. Get rid of him, block him, and be more discerning in the future. Don't bring me into your house. If you want to get a babysitter for your children, your kids will babysit at your house, and you go to the dude's house. They don't never need to know where you live until y'all are a serious item, and I'm talking about months and months and months down the road. Protect your kids. This was very bad decision making. Whew, my God. Okay, let's move on to question number 22. This is from a female, 36 to 40, from Belfast, Ireland. Wow, we get a lot of letters from the UK. Oh my God, this girl wrote a fucking novel. How am I going to trim this down? Okay. I met a guy last week online. We texted. I was struck by how compatible we seemed and how much we had in common. He's early 50s. I'm 40. He's out of town for the time being, so we set up a video call last night. We were compatible. Our conversation on the call solidified that. Our values seem to be well aligned. We practice the same religion. We have so many unique interests in common, similar goals, ambitions. Okay, that sounds good. Conversation flowed naturally. It felt good. Appropriate balance of flirting, banter, and deeper conversation. Obviously, it was just one video call, and I still need to get to know the guy, but everything felt good. Once they say something felt good, I know this is a sinking ship. He texted me immediately after and told me how much fun he had talking to me and asked if I'd like to do it again. I said yes. But, and I feel like the most awful and shallow person even saying this, the minute he opened his mouth, I was super turned off by his voice. I didn't even know that was a thing that could turn me off, but apparently it is. I'm typically into very masculine guys, and he has a pretty high pitched feminine voice. When he laughed, it literally sounded like a girl. Since we haven't met in person yet, I can't tell whether or not there's a physical chemistry there that makes up for it. I'm attracted to his pictures, but who knows if that will translate in person. I really liked him. We're compatible. The bad guys usually seem perfect on all superficial levels. I ignored the red flags and blah, blah, blah. I just wonder if I'm stupidly playing into this unhealthy pattern again. I do want a good and healthy relationship. And obviously, this dating pattern has got me nowhere but hurt. So I'm trying to be more conscious of it, accept that no one good for me is going to be perfect in every way. But I can already feel my brain sticking to that one thing and being turned off by it. I'm immensely frustrated because I really do want to be with someone. I feel potential here. I also recognize no one's perfect. If I keep searching for that, I'll always be alone. So how can I work past this ick I'm feeling? When you're finding your significant other, was there ever one superficial thing right off the bat that turned you off, but you were able to get past it? Thanks in advance for the advice, and please don't chastise me too much for being shallow. I know it's shallow. I'm constantly trying to work against it. No, it's not shallow. Let me tell you this. Women are highly auditory creatures. Our sense of hearing is tuned biologically so that we can hear babies. We can hear our children in distress. We are so fine tuned with our hearing that we can tell what's wrong with the baby by the way it cries or the noises it makes. This is biological. Okay, there's nothing you can do about it. It's there for a reason. Survival of the species. Women are extremely auditory. That's one reason why women get so caught up in words. Men that notice use it against you because you like to hear shit, right? So they gonna give you a whole bunch of shit to listen to. They're not gonna do nothing. Okay, but they're gonna talk, and you're gonna get caught up in the words because women are very auditory. So that's why I tell you, you got to balance your brain. So as soon as she started saying it felt good, I knew this was gonna be a disaster. Because it's like you shouldn't be having no feelings about nothing. You just had one conversation. You don't feel shit. You're thinking about what you heard. Now, me, I don't like men. You got to have some bass in your voice. Not as low as Barry White. No, I don't like that. But you have to have a nice, deep, rich, masculine voice. You got that squeaky Mike Tyson shit going on. I can't listen to you. Don't talk to me. I don't. No, can't do it. No, can't do it. And and it's not plus it's nothing like when you got a motherfucker with a nice deep voice and y'all doing a magical thing and then he started whispering some shit in your ear and that nice voice, that's just like a motherfucking turn on like a big anyway, yeah. I can't do the high squeaky voice, so I understand completely where you coming from. Now, what hit me about this? This might be a trans man. That's the vibe I got. It's not really a man, it's a woman trying to be a man. You got to watch for that shit these days. You got to watch for that. That's what I'm thinking. But the main thing is, when that person calls you again or reaches out or something, say, oh, I had a really great time talking to you and everything, but, I've happened to talk to and meet someone else, and I think I'm going to explore the options over there because we got along even better. You know what I mean? Just will kind of just brush them off to the side without condemning them in any way because you don't know them enough to condemn. But I'm telling you, if you can't even stand to hear your man talk, you shut down when he starts talking to you, then that's just not gonna go nowhere. I have to love your tone of voice. I wanted to hear what you got to say because as soon as you start talking in that squeaky voice or some high pitched female shit, I've got to go. I can't talk to you. You gotta go. Yeah, you got everybody. These days you gotta ask about, what people's packing downstairs. Do you have this equipment or do you have that equipment? And they're gonna be like, well, I'm a man, I'm a this and that. Never mind all that. Motherfucker, do you have a dick? Do you have a vagina? Which one do you have? And it better not be surgically made either. I'm talking about maybe you was born with it. If you got something else, then we can't talk. Because that ain't going to work for me. And people be mad. They be like, oh, you're transphobic. Well, call it whatever the fuck you want to. I want a man with a real dick. And if I was a man, I want a woman with a real pussy. And a uterus, if I want to have kids and shit, your dick having ass ain't going to give me that. Fuck you. So they be like, I'm a woman. No, you're not. Stop this. Stop this delusion that you under. So, these days, this is something that I mean, our times have changed. When I was growing up, I never thought about asking nobody this kind of shit. A man was a man, a woman was a woman. Now everybody want to be whatever. Oh, I'm non-transsexual. I'm non-identifiable. I'm this and that. What are you, bitch ass, a frog? I mean, what? What you trying to be here? I don't want to identify as anything. It don't matter. When everybody looks at you, they see a man. I don't give a fuck what you want to identify as. I don't change nothing. It's like me saying I don't want to identify as a black woman. When you look at me, you see I'm a black woman. Now what? I can be in some delusion if I want to, but that don't change reality. So I'm telling you, out here dating now, you better ask. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Sean Q. I couldn't think of it all of a sudden. But you better ask. And you better ask, is the shit real? I'm telling you. You better be asking. Because, folks will be trying to dib and dab. That's how come a lot of dudes get caught up. They think they're dealing with a woman because they forgot to ask the question, do you have a dick, ma'am? If you have a dick, we can't date. Okay? Because I want somebody that got a pussy so I can put my dick in it. I don't want nobody with a dick. That's not working for me. I'm just saying, y'all better be like, just be savage with it. You don't have to worry about hurting nobody's feelings because the feelings gonna be hurt is yours when you get ready to get busy and you find a surprise. I'm not trying to be surprised like that. I mean, I like women, as far as, my friends and socializing and all this kind of stuff. I don't want to be in an intimate relationship with one. No, y'all get on my nerves too much for all of that. Shit, me get on my nerves too. I'm a date a Martian. Yeah, don't be because they don't be finding out. The men get a shock and a surprise, and then the trans person that wasn't forthcoming ends up hurt or sometimes killed. I mean, the man goes to prison and all this kind of stuff. But you can't be trying to trick people like that. So that's what I'm telling people. Don't let them trick you. Ask up front. Do you got a dick? You look like a girl, but do you have a dick, or do you have a pussy? I need to know which one you got. And a uterus and shit, ovaries and fallopian tubes. What you got going on? And if you don't have that equipment, then we can't deal with you. I don't want to be bothered. Well, yeah, they got to work the middle, the top, and everything better be working. Okay, how many more of these damn letters do we have? Okay, 3, 23, 24, three more. Okay, number 23. I took my boyfriend out for his birthday. We spent a day in London, all paid for by me, shopping, drinks, fancy steak restaurant. After a few drinks, the conversation arose about our eggplant life and how he wants to spice things up, and he would like me to initiate more, dress up, etc. I told him I was open to suggestions. He suggested we start that night, and feeling a little tipsy, ended up in a late night pharmacy buying condoms. The whole journey home, he was super affectionate, complimentary, which is very out of ordinary for him. He's usually a very hands off guy, but by the time I got home, I was shattered and uncomfortably full after a three-course meal and told him I was simply just not feeling up to it right now. He went into a giant huff saying that I had ruined the evening and his birthday. It could have been so nice. What was the point of buying condoms, etc., etc.? And he went so far as suggesting that maybe I should leave his place early in the morning as there was no point me hanging around. I appreciate he may have been disappointed, but after having spent the best part of 300 pounds, that's somewhere around 400 US dollars. That's a lot of money. On a day out for him to be spoken to like that, it left me feeling really hurt. Was I in the wrong for changing my mind? Should I have just got over it and made an effort for his thing? No, you should never do that. You should never share your body against your will. Every time you do anything physical with a man, it must be with your full and enthusiastic consent. Enthusiastic is the key word here. Like, as in you all over him, kind of thing. If you're not, and he insists on doing anything anyway, that's called sexual assault. A lot of people don't understand it, but you go and look up the Department of Justice definition of sexual assault, which was changed about 3 years ago. So it includes things that could happen to men. So this would be a no. Luckily, he didn't, try to force the issue. But I'm telling you, that was your little boyfriend. He wouldn't be mine. We would have a birthday breakup. Because you're going to be acting like that. I mean, with all that food that we ate, how could you even think you're going to be doing anything? My stomach is full. I can't. You know how do you try to do something when your stomach is full? You feel like you're gonna throw up. I don't know about y'all, but I do. Can't do it. I have to like. I need time to digest so it could go down some. You know. Mm-mm. So, you you know you weren't wrong to change your mind. You were great to stand your boundaries. And once he kicked me out, that would have been it. I would have never come back. And on my way, like I said, I would have blocked him. I would block him, so our relationship would be over. That would be it. I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of women are like, well, that's not a big deal. Why would you lose the whole relationship over that? Like I said before, you don't look at what somebody does. You look at the attitude behind what they did. What would make them think that that was okay to do that to you, to talk to you that way, or to treat you that way? You don't just look at that one little action. You look at what's going on in that man's mind and heart that would make him think saying that to you or treating you that way was fine. That was, wonderful. That's okay. You should be, down with that. That's what you have to look at. And when you start really looking at those attitudes behind the fucked up shit that they say and do to you, you can see that most relationships really should not continue. The women are in an abusive relationship and they don't even understand what's happening. There's no way in this world he would have said some shit like that to me and not got cussed the fuck out. And I don't give a fuck if I am at his house. He must be Lee, because that's happened before. That's why I know I'm speaking from experience. That's not a good thing to do. Not with my stomach. My stomach's already not the best, but can't do it. Motion with a full belly? No, not doing it. So, I can understand him being somewhat disappointed, but all he had to do was say, well, will we have him? Let's get some rest in and, let's see what happens in the morning. Wink, wink. And then he could have saved the evening and everything could have been great. She would have woke up in the morning, food digested, raring to go. Him too, because men's testosterone's the highest in the morning. So they could have had a good time with some morning whoopee. But no, he fucked it all up. So then he didn't get none. So, that's what I mean. That's the kind of thing that I would look at and I think, okay, what would make you think that you should talk to me like that? Say some fucked up shit like that to me. No, we're done here, sir. I'm not going to be arguing with men about stuff like that. Anything that concerns me and what works best for me and my body, you have no voice in that. You have no say. You don't have to get to have an opinion. It's about me and my body. I'm the only one who decides what happens with it. You don't get nothing here that I don't willingly give you. And if I said no, then motherfucker, that's where the conversation ends. You could be mad if you want to. Tell me to go home, that's great. But once I hit that door, don't call me. Don't look for me to come back because you're a fucker and we're done here. This is a wrap. Yeah, she just unbelievable. Question number 20. Well, he has $400 on a boyfriend. I don't even think I spent that much on my husband. I'm trying to think. No, I think the most I bought. No, now one time I spent about three. I got him a leather jacket for his birthday, but it was on sale at Macy's. So, it was like 100 and something plus, the tax. The tax around here is a lot. So it came to, close to $200, maybe just over, something like that. But that was it. That's as much as I'm going to spend. I'm not going to spend $400 on your ass. And he didn't really like to eat out anyway, so he liked my cooking better. So I made him his favorite food. We got a babysitter, put candles in the tablecloth on the table, made it all fancy, flowers and shit. Gave him his little jacket. He was cute. And that was it. I'm not doing all of that. And I was like all put out that I had spent that much. He would spend a lot on me, but I'm talking about other way. I'm not spending all that money on a man. Question number 24, female, 30 to 35, out of Raleigh, North Carolina. A few weeks ago, I met a guy online, and he asked me how long I've been single. I asked him the same question. I knew from our online conversation that he had been divorced for more than 10 years. Imagine my surprise when he told me that he's been single for 10 years. Why no relationship at all for 10 years, I asked him. He explained that since his divorce, he has had two long-term relationships, each lasted for more than 4 years. They lived together, and he was even engaged to the last woman. I was flabbergasted. I did not quite know what to say. He didn't quite say anything more on that subject, but when I asked him to elaborate more, Of course, it's not quite my place to ask, but does dating, living together, and are getting engaged means nothing? A few days ago, I talked to another guy. He also told me that he was single ever since his divorce. When I probed further, he fessed up that he's been seeing someone after his divorce for a few years. I'm not saying it should matter, perhaps, if you just started dating, but what if you've been dating for years? Can it honestly mean nothing at all? Only being married matters to people? I understand that marriage provides you with a lot more security and perhaps both finances in terms of commitment, but still. Do people not commit to their romantic partners unless they are married? What about friends with benefits? Do they matter at all if you're talking about your last relationship? Are you totally single if you're still seeing your FWB? Color me confused here. Don't you know what FWB is not even a relationship? That's somebody you fucking. Okay, you just mixing apples and kumquats at this point. Does it matter at all if you're talking about your relationship? How many times do I have to tell you all you're single till you're married? Nobody wants to believe me. This is the man. These men are telling you what I've been telling you, and people like to. Well, Deb can only tell you from the female perspective. Fuck that shit. I tell you shit from the men's perspective and the woman's perspective. You think I was raised around men for nothing? You think all the stuff I say is with some girly tone? That was somebody said that. I forgot who it was, and I was like, that's some bullshit. I tell you shit because I talk to men. I grew up with men. All my friends were men for 20 years. And what I tell you is the stuff the way that men think. And y'all just don't want to believe it. You are single. He is single until you are married. I keep telling you all that. The boy, you call somebody a boyfriend, your baby daddy, the motherfucker you living with, the motherfucker you sleeping with, whatever. It means nothing. He could have that same relationship with 10 other women. You could have it with 10 other men. You're not married. You're single. Even walking down the aisle of the church. Remember the runaway bride? What did she do? Make that U-turn and jet. She walked into that church single. She left single. Okay? You're single till you're married. Y'all fix it. Fix your head to think about it. You might thinking that, well, I have this commitment. You don't have shit. You have some words. Okay? You have words. That's all you got. They don't mean nothing because they don't have no action behind them. Now, by the time you make it to engage, that might be a little more, but you're still single. But at least it's going in the direction of, of being married. But y'all just living with somebody, having his kids, fucking. You're a single woman. You can't hold him to no kind of standard that you would hold a husband to. Well, he cheated on me. No, did he really? Were you engaged? Are you married? No. Then you were single. So what he did with some other bitch, what you do with some other man, that's on y'all. You're both single. And so many people want to put all these hooks into people based on something else. You're not married. You're not even engaged. There's nothing there to hold you. You could turn around and walk out the door any moment you please. Every time I lived with a man and I wanted to get rid of him and I was done, all I did was go find me someplace else to move. One time move from one man's house to another one's house. It's trifling. But I wasn't married to him. I didn't owe him shit. Not even an explanation. Okay, I packed my shit, got my movers or whatever, put my shit in my car that was breakable, and then drove the fuck off. And that was the end of that. Why could I do that? Because I was single. And when somebody can do something like that, you really understand when you have that, somebody does that to you, then you really get a clue about what single means. And that's what I felt like. I don't need to explain to you why I don't want to be here. We ain't married. Fuck you. You did some shit I don't like. You said some shit I don't like. I'm out. And I don't even have to talk about it. I don't have to give you notice. I don't have to do anything because we're not married. We're single. And I'm out. And that's just that. Yeah, that marriage does mean something to them. Yeah, sometimes. It depends on your man. Sometimes it doesn't because they'll tell you, well, she married, I'm not. You just really got to know the dude that you with. But I keep trying to get y'all to understand. Don't be putting too much on these boyfriend things. You be doing too much. That's my boyfriend. You want to go fight bitches over him and all that stuff? No, put a bow on his neck and give him to her. He want to be over there so bad? Well, he's single. He can do that. You know what I mean? Even if it's your baby daddy and y'all living together and everything. You pregnant, all of that. It don't matter. He's still single. So are you. That's why you shouldn't be having babies by nobody. See, you clip your own wings then. You fuck yourself up having babies by these miscellaneous stray motherfuckers. I wish I would. Y'all just be messing yourselves up. Single. and free. Single. Remember that song? What was that? I'm living a single life. Cameo. That was my jam. Okay, if you need a tune up about singleness, listen to that song. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere. Cameo is the group. Living the single life, something like that. Single life, I think is the name of the actual track. Listen to that and get a clue. Okay. Question number 25, the last question of What the Fuck Tuesday for September 2020. This year is we really rolling through this year. I'm kind of glad though, because COVID fucked everything up. Female, 30 to 35 from Naperville, Illinois. Wow, never heard of that. My fiance and I have been together for over 5 years. See? I always make an effort for his and our kids' birthdays. Recently, he had a milestone birthday, and I bought an amazing present and took him away for the weekend. My birthday was last week, and I got nothing, not even a card. He didn't even get the kids to make a card for me. I just don't get it. I know it's not the receiving, it's the giving, etc. But this has just made me feel like he really doesn't value me at all. I'm sad and I don't know what to do. What you do is realize that you made a horrible mistake. You've just wasted 5 years of your life and gave your body stretch marks over a fucker. That's what you did. I repeat, do not have kids with men that you are not married to. Engaged, living with, baby daddy, boyfriend. I don't care if you've been with the motherfucker 20 years. You don't have shit unless you're married. That's the rule. Okay, and you can save yourself from shit like what she's been ready to go through. Because now she's going to have to figure out how to get another house and get child support for some kids she shouldn't have had. And this is going to be drama personified because he does not give a fuck about you. That's why you've been engaged for 5 years. Who does that? If he really wanted to marry you, that shit would happen quick. Okay? When a man really wants to get you locked down, he ain't trying to be engaged for no more than maybe a year if you want to have a fancy wedding, And a lot of them, they chomping at the bit. They can't wait to get married. They tell everybody, "Oh, I can't wait for her to be my wife and for her to call me my husband and all this." I mean, they just be all in it. It's all in. Okay, that's the kind of man that you marry. One that you have to coerce and beg and try and whine to and be engaged for 5 and 10 years and stuff. He don't want you. He just don't want you to be nowhere else while he's still living a single life. And y'all fall for it. You know? But when I'm gonna tell you something. When a man really wants to be married to you, he's gonna want to move, relatively quickly. It's going to be a situation where, not like a love bomb thing. It's gonna be paced. It's hard to describe, but they're constantly moving forward. There's none of this, to the side and you turn and slow down and all this stuff. It's a constant progression towards marriage. He's making the moves. He's getting the house. He's getting bills paid. He's done bought the ring. He's looking at property. He's doing this. He's doing that. He's putting shit in motion. So when he gets married, he has somewhere to put his wife and a platform set up for you guys to build your future on, for you to be his wife and for him to have children. And he's got it, he's got it planned. I mean, he's doing stuff. You can see it. It's a progression and it's in action and it's tangible. It's not just words. So if you got a guy who's talking about, yeah, let's just be married, and he ain't doing shit, you don't have no ring, he ain't making no moves, he's not doing nothing, he's not trying to get a promotion at work, he's not saving up no money to buy a house, he's not doing anything, then know that you on some bullshit. He's just trying to keep you in lockdown while he's still dibbling and dabbling and doing whatever he want to do. So you suppose if he gave you a real raggedy ring, you give him that shit back, and you say, well, you get everything and ready for a real wife to have, then hit me up. Other than that, I'm gone. And they don't want to wait. They'll date you for, I don't know, 3, 4, 6 months, and then they're going to start talking to marriage talk. And a lot of them, it's like they want to talk it before, but they scared to scare you away. So they keep their mouth shut until they feel like you could, you be okay with it if they mention it. But a lot of them, they know right away. They know right away if they want to marry you. They start seeing you as their wife, run home and tell their mama and sisters, I met the woman I'm going to marry the day they met you. Stuff like that. So, all these women who do this kind of stuff, you guys are just wasting time. I'm telling you, you can't get it back. Stop wasting your time with men who are not going to give you what you want in life. There's no way in this world that this guy who's been engaged for 5 years and having kids, she would have S, that means it's more than one, um, was anything like a viable candidate for a husband. She just wasted a whole bunch of her time. I'm telling you, that's what men say. I just like talk to men all the time. The stuff I'm telling you is not the woman's point of view. That's not true. Okay? Give me some respect and some credit. I've been doing this shit for 30 years, talking to people from all over this world. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay? You might not want to believe it, but I do. And those who don't believe me, go out in the street and you go do what you want to do. And I bet you come back saying, oh, no, you were right. I hear that all the time. So that's what I wanted to say about that. You guys live smart. Remember, your time, can't get that back. Be selfish with it. Figure out what man deserves it, and if he doesn't, then don't give him any. Okay, or just minimize the amount of time that you spend with him. Any guy who doesn't meet your standards, you block him. Okay, don't even entertain him. Don't give him any way to contact you. And for every one of you who is single and dating, get you a social card and get you a Google phone number or some other, phone service. It doesn't have to be Google. You get something so that you have a voicemail number and people can actually leave messages there and stuff. You can call them back if you so choose to. It's also good to use when you do online ordering and stuff like that because they give those numbers out to those telemarketer, people and stuff. And so it's like a junk email and it's a phone number that you will never answer. And you use that, you register at Safeway for the frequent purchaser thing and all this stuff. All of those kind of things, I use my Google phone number and this address that I have associated with it. And that's where all of those kind of spam emails and all that stuff goes to that account. So I can go through there and see if there's anything I'm interested in. And then I just mass highlight and delete, and it's gone. You know? So I want you guys to understand that everything I say here is for your best interest and your best interest and for your benefit. I will never lead you wrong. I will never ever tell you anything that's going to hurt you. Everything I say to you is information that I've called from 30 years of working with people and research. Okay, there's a lot of information in this big head. So, I'm trying to give it to you. I mean, because we don't know how much longer we all have on this planet. Again, time is an issue, and I'm trying to get this. Everything that I need to do, I'm trying to get it done in the time that I have allotted. I don't want it to make it sound like I'm about to die next week, but you just never know. You know what I mean? And I just feel with this COVID thing, it just kind of, so many people that you didn't expect to get sick and die. I mean, even little kids. You just never know when your your ticket's gonna get punched. And I have a lot of work to do, so I'm trying to amp up the pace and get this information out of my head into yours as quickly as I can. Okay, so I want to let everybody know I really appreciate you coming by today and sitting in. Thank you, super chat donors, and everybody who sent me some cash app tips. Some of the advice column people from last week sent some cash app tips for their answers. Thank you, I appreciate that. And we will be back. I'm going to see. We're not having the Friday night show. I think I'm going to go visit my relatives for a change. But I'm going to come up with something because, like I said, I have a lot of topics that you guys have presented for me to discuss. So it's time for me to start making some more of my 7 to 20-minute videos and get those on. If you got any suggestions, just send them on in to survivingdating@gmail.com. Let me know what you'd like to have me talk about, something that bothers you or some question that you've had, that you've observed some certain behavior or something, you want me to just give you an analysis of it. I'd be happy to do that. So you guys, love you. Love you. You guys be good. I'll see you real soon. I don't know exactly when, but it'll be definitely sooner rather than later. All right? Take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.